Alright, so last part of the Fruits of Literature Club stream I did, Sayori got abducted by this group that is known for abducting young girls in this fictional city that the main character moved to. And the gang is still on the run. Police are just investigating, but no signs of Sayori yet. We also recently got a few hints pertaining to like an old gas station out of town that the main character himself got from two of the criminals. So I want to see where the rest of this goes. Slowly walking into the club room, all three girls are present and accounted for. Feeling a small wave of relief rush to me, I take my usual seat. Hey, Level Engine. How are you feeling today? Better than the last few. Placing my bag on the floor beside my desk, I look up at Monica. You? I'm hanging in there. Hey, at least you're still here. Welcome back. Welcome back? I never left. Just because of what Natsuki said yesterday doesn't mean I am going to leave you all behind. Yeah, about that. I'm sorry. I got too upset and I let myself blame someone for what happened to Sayori. I really miss her. I do as well. She was always so positive. Each of the girls look down and twiddle with their fingers. I have no idea what the girls have been doing while I'm gone. But Monica has told me they held off poems and other events. It's a little disheartening to see that the literature club has practically come to a halt. Sayori was such an influence on it. Definitely one that you wouldn't expect to see as blatantly as this. Wait, I have an idea. What is it, Monica? Huh? Monica snaps her fingers and smiles. I think it's important that each of us understand how much we mean to each other. None of us know if we'll even be here tomorrow or the next day. Let's go around the room and just say some of the things we appreciate about each other. I think that is a good idea. Sayori would have loved it. I agree. Not bad for once, Monica. I'll go first. I really enjoy how all of us are here for each other. We started a club that meant a lot to us. It was something we cared about. And each of us made it something special. Yuri, with your amazing writing and thought process, you can paint almost any picture in your head with words. You always give interesting and helpful advice to us. And I can't help but find myself interested in a lot of the things you say. Natsuki, with your baking and your simple writing. You tell a story in as few simple words as possible, and you do it very well. You bring the club a new little liveliness, and you're always fun to be around. Even though sometimes we can argue about whether or not manga is literature, I still adore you and I'm glad you're here with us in the club. You're an amazing friend. And Level Engine, you have changed this club drastically since you came here. I have? How? You've shown these girls, myself included, that anyone can get involved in literature. You've been a pretty large staple of the club since you got here. Sayori did an amazing thing bringing you here. You've been there for all of us, and look at how you're taking care of us with her gone. You're a really great friend, and I'm sure we all appreciate you. Both Yuri and Natsuki nod in agreement. I see. Thank you, girls. The other girls start to speak afterwards, but I tune out and begin to think to myself. I didn't really think I was that important to the club. I think to myself for a short while, completely entranced in my thoughts. A small part of my mind imagines how Sayori would respond to each of the girls. It makes me chuckle and smile silently. I can only imagine how each of these girls feel about the situation. I've become calm about the situation, but I can still tell they are all still somewhat frantic. It's to be expected of people who don't have as much training as I do. I'm able to keep calm under stressful situations, but that doesn't mean I don't have my limit. And it worries me if I ever do reach that limit. And that's why I always enjoyed her smile. She lit up the room with it and made everyone feel happy. I finally snap back to reality and hear Natsuki talking about Sayori's smile. She had a beautiful smile. She was always so happy. If anyone felt down or sad, she would try her hardest to make them happy. She truly was our ball of sunshine, just like her poem. Was? Monica, you used the wrong word. Huh? She is our ball of sunshine. Don't be using past tense on her just yet. It's only been a couple of days. Right. I certainly hope the police will find her soon. I can't possibly picture Sayori in this kind of situation. It should have been me. Don't say something like that. What? I'm serious. I stand up casually and look at the girl seriously. I'm more capable of fending people off than Sayori is. Even if that's true, we don't want that to happen at all. Natsuki is right. Why wish something on someone else than wish for it to have never happened in the first place? Because sometimes life doesn't work out that way, Yuri. Life is a funny way of making itself known. Whether it's a calm and relaxed day, or if it forces itself through your door and drags you out. I slowly clench my fist. You should always hope for the best and prepare for the worst. But I think it's fair to say, yeah, no one expected this to happen. And I hope more than anyone else that Sayori is found okay. Stopping at that sentence, I turn away from the girls and look out the window into the afternoon. Level engine? You girls can get going. I'm just gonna sit here for a bit and think. Are you sure? I'm positive. Natsuki and Yuri walk out of the room together. And out of the corner of my eye, from the window's reflection, I see Monica look back into the club room one last time before departing. Resting my hand against the window, I take a few deep breaths and relax. This reminds me of a time when Sayori went out on a walk once. Hehe, it's such a nice day out. Mr. Sun is really making everything nice and pretty. It was really fun to hang out with Level Engine today. I hope I can do it again soon. What? Ow! My foot! I think it's twisted! Ow! What are you crying about over here? I think I twisted my ankle. Let me see. I kneel down onto the asphalt and inspect Sayori's foot. I gently press it a few times to determine whether or not it's broken or twisted. It's just sprained. Come on, I'll help you up. Really? Yes, really. Sayori takes my hand and I gently pull her up. Put your weight onto your good foot. Okay. When Sayori stands up, she buckles and falls forward. I got you. Sayori wraps her arms around me and I support her while she does. It hurts. Yeah, I don't doubt it does. You somehow managed to get your foot caught in the crack there on the sidewalk. I think no one else but you could have done that. I was just thinking about something. I guess I didn't pay attention. You're lucky I was here to help you out. I'm sorry that you have to help me like this. If I wasn't, you could have called. I wouldn't mind helping you out anyway. You mean it? Of course I do. If I didn't, I wouldn't have said it. Are you able to stand on your other foot now? I can try. Ow! Guess not. I'll carry you home, okay? Oh, okay. Remembering the event, I grab my bag and walk out of the club room while balling my fist up as tightly as I can. Exiting the main doors of the school alone, I glance around the other students that remain on the campus. One of the students catches my eye. Tightening my grip on my backpack strap, I make a beeline straight for the boy. His eyes meet mine and immediately go wide. Wrapping my hands around his collar, I push him back onto the wall of the school. Actually, now I'm not even sure if Kagan has anything to do with this. Or if I could just be attacking this guy for no reason. Gah? Well, what the hell is your problem? You. You are my problem. Kagan grips at my wrists and tries to push himself away from me. Where the hell is she? What the hell are you talking about? Where is Sayori? I don't know. The last I heard that she was gone missing. Don't you pull that bullshit on me. I tighten my grip even further. Kagan's uniform stretches and begins to rip slightly. I know for a fact that you were involved in her disappearance. You had this planned all along. You perved on her. I stopped you. You caused this so you could save her and be her big hero. I seriously have nothing to do with this. The only involvement I have had with her was... I paid some of the girls to start bullying her so I could come in and defend her. Well, you were right about me wanting to be your hero, but only for that. I wouldn't want Sayori to be harmed in any way. So you were the reason she was getting bullied? Yes. Pushing one last huff out of my lungs, I push Kagan back against the wall, releasing my grip. You're fucking pathetic. Not able to stand looking Kagan in the face anymore, I turn away. I need to keep my cool. I can't lose and start beating this freak's face in on school grounds. Love Lunch, and if you find her if she comes back safe, please at least tell me. I care about her too. I don't give him the privilege of response. Hello? Hello, Monica. Who is this? That isn't important. I have information about what happened to your friend. Sayori? What is it? You have to do something for me first. Oh no, hostage exchange? What is it? That boy who prowls around with you. You do not tell him anything. But if you do, Sayori dies. Huh? You're one of the people who kidnapped her, aren't you? No, not directly. I knew about it, of course. But my focus is you, Monica. You were not to tell anyone I contacted you. Not your friends, not your police, not a stranger. Because we're watching you. And the moment you do... Sayori? She dies. Fine. What do I have to do? You're going to meet me personally somewhere later tonight. Bring nothing. Where? I will call you later with the location. I can't afford to have you tell anyone about this. What time tonight? I can't tell you that either. Think of this as a happy little surprise, okay? I hate the tone of your voice. Haha! Oh, Monica, that's sweet. This is how things are done in the real world. Can you at least tell me what will happen when I meet you? Let me guess, no? Oh. I want to have a conversation in person with you. I want to see the fear in your face. I'll bring your dear friend along too so you can see the fear on hers as well. Please don't hurt her. You're a little too late for that. But she's alive. Goodbye, Monica. I'll talk to you soon. Wait! Oh no. What do I do? I really have no choice now. Do I? He said to meet him at the edge of the parkside forest. Oh no, is she gonna get herself abducted too? And she was told to go alone and bring nothing. I have a really bad feeling about this too. Sounds like she's being set up already. Hello, Monica. Ah! Haha, there's no need to be frightened. Not yet, that is. Where's Sayori? You'll see her in due time. I need to see if she's okay. I said in due time. Now, no one followed you here? No. Good girl. I want you to do me a favor. Tell me. Tell me how it feels to be at the mercy of someone you don't even know. Tell me how it felt to lose your friend, possibly forever. I need to know. You're sick. I wouldn't be using that tone of voice here, young lady. I can show you sick if you really want. Yes, I love that look. Did you feel helpless when you lost your friend? This fucking asshole, though. He's literally probably just getting off on Monica's suffering here. I felt horrible. Sayori's a very good friend to me, and I couldn't do anything to save her. Good, good. How'd the rest of your little gang react? They were heartbroken. Because of you. How could you do this to us? Oh, you're getting a little courageous. Just remember, I hold your friend's life in my hands. If you rub me the wrong way, I might just order her death. No. Don't. Good. Now that boy was with you. What was his name? Oh, come on, you can tell me. You have Sayori captive. Why would you need me to answer that? She hasn't been particularly cooperative. No matter how hard I beat her, she still didn't tell me much. You hit her? Probably several times. What are you going to do? Huh, you little bitch? That's right, because you have no control here, you're forced to submit to me. And I do love a submissive woman. So answer my question. What is the boy's name? Level engine? Or main character, whatever. Thank you. Wait, what? That's his name. Is this some joke? No. Surely it isn't the... Never mind that. Can I see my friend now? I don't see why not. A man pulls out Sayori from the bushes holding a gun to her head. Her clothes are torn, dirty, and bloody. Monica! Sayori! Hahaha! Don't go too far, Sayori. I'm not finished with you just yet. Sweetheart, it'll be okay. I promise. Please help me! Really? Those are the words you offer your friend? A false reassurance? I thought you would have picked your final words better. My final words? Yep. Monica! Sayori is forcibly dragged away by the man holding the gun to her head. Now let's have a little fun. The man steps closer to Monica. She backs herself against the tree. Stay back! Please! Ha 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 ha! Scream for mercy, bitch. Oh my god, is this guy gonna kill her? Go? You're pathetic for attacking an unarmed woman. Level engine! Monica looks up at me, her eyes weakened and dim. God knows how long he had been beating her before I showed up. Turning my attention to the man in front of me on the ground, he tries to crawl backwards away. Monica, are you able to move? Barely. Try to stand for me. Monica tries to pick herself up off of the ground, but struggles to even get past her knees. Damn it. Stay there and don't move, Monica. But what are you going to do? I heard Sayori scream. Where is she? I'm not telling you. Bad move. Very bad move. I walk over to him quicker than he can crawl away. Lifting up by his shirt, I throw him against a nearby tree. Ugh! Feeling the thump from his head hitting the tree, I look him in the eyes. The very fires of hell burning into him. These are what my eyes were meant for. You're... Where is Sayori? I don't know. You're gonna tell me where my girlfriend is. And if you fucking don't... Using the hand I'm strangling him with, I pull him back from the tree and I slam him into it again. I don't know. Tell me. Tell me now. I slam him back onto the tree a third time. His eyes plead for mercy. His body shakes in terror. I squeeze tighter. Ugh. Ugh. He isn't telling me where Sayori is, and I don't have the time to waste. I throw him onto the ground to my right. He struggles and gasps for air. Once he has enough strength to crawl away, I grab his leg and pull him back. Get off of me! The man screams in sheer agony. I've taken his lower leg and forced it 180 degrees to the opposite direction, effectively tearing the ligaments of his knee and displacing his patella bone. Kneeling down over his back, I lift his head up by his hair. I'm not going to ask you again. Where the fuck is my girlfriend? Level engine. Some man took her that way. Monica sits up against a tree and points to the west. You, tell me where you took her. If not, I will break your other leg and leave you here for the wolves. And trust me, they're hungry this time of year. Near the river. Good. Slamming his head onto the hardened dirt ground, he goes unconscious. Monica manages to get herself up on 2 feet. Go home, Monica. What? What about you? I'm the least of your worries right now. I'm going to get Sayori back. I can't just leave you here. Listen, I need you to go to Sayori's house and stay there. Once she gets home, you call the police and tell them what happened. No. What? We can tell them what happened. You just made it sound like you weren't coming back. If I don't come back, then it is what it is. I have to get Sayori back at any cost. Goodbye, Monica. Without hearing what Monica calls out to me, I charge into the forest. While sprinting, I take my M9A1 out of my belt line and eject the magazine. Taking a fresh magazine from my pocket, I insert it to my handgun and ready to slide. The ground is riddled with tracks as if someone was dragged through here. The mass of what was dragged looks to be the same as Sayori's body mass. They took her this way. Oh, hey there, physicist. Okay, so it hasn't even really been 20 minutes yet. Now we're actually chasing after the guys who abducted Sayori. And they threatened to kill her earlier, and they could have possibly killed Monica too if the main character didn't just come in and save her. I hear voices deeper into the forest. Upon getting closer, I spot 2 men sitting on a bench and talking to each other. After hiding my weapon behind my back, I approach the men. Excuse me, gentlemen? Both of them look at me surprised I had the gun behind my back. What is it, young man? Got the missile extension that opens purple doors. I think I remember that one, the Seeker missile, right? Where you have to just shoot 5 missiles at a time to just open up, like, the purple doors. I know it sounds crazy, but have you seen a younger girl with coral pink hair around? So late at night? Not at all. I'm sorry, son, but no. Alright, sorry for bothering you. I begin to walk away from the men before hearing a heat to stop. Excuse me, kid, but you aren't going anywhere. Sensing them coming at me quickly, I pivot my hip to the left and throw my elbow backward. Hitting one of the men in the temple with my elbow, I kick my right knee out and brace for the other to collide with me. As he makes contact with my shoulder, I maneuver underneath him, and his momentum causes him to roll right over my shoulder blades. You little The man behind me, regaining composure from the blow to his head, pulls a knife and starts to swing wildly. His sloppy arm movements tell me exactly where he plans to swing next. And after a window of opportunity, I grab his wrist as he brings the knife down towards me. I can't waste any more time with these two. Swinging my handgun around to hold in a better position, I bring the butt of the handle against his temple. He grunts as he falls over to his knees. Grabbing the back of his hair and his collar, I drag him over to the metal bench and forcefully slam his head against it. The first hit stuns him and cuts the side of his head open. But he still tries to fight, so I slam his head against the bench again. Ugh! He goes limp and I let him fall to the ground. The other man has already managed to get up and catches me off guard by wrapping his hands around my throat. Go? He squeezes down onto my neck with a hell of a lot more force than I'm able to handle. I try to bring my elbow down onto his wrist to break it, but I can't get enough force to do it. Where's my gun? Shit. When he grabbed me, it fell into the ground. I wasn't expecting him to get up so quickly. Think. His eyes. His head is close enough to me that I can... I reach up towards his face, now emanating with pure hatred and fury, and shove my thumb into his right eye socket. Ah! His screams cause me to dig my thumb deeper into his head. I use the remaining amount of strength I have to shove it in as fast and as hard as I can, resulting in a pop. So you just completely fucked with his eye, apparently. Yeah, EB, we're in the middle of a fight scene here. My guy against, like, two other people who are supposedly working with the people who kidnapped Sayori. I'm too late, he already has a gun pointed at me. His only good eye now stares at me with vengeance written all over it. My left arm is thrown backward with a force that nearly knocks me to the ground. Raising my handgun back up, I evade to the right and return fire. All three shots hitting him in the upper body, he staggers to the ground and drops his weapon. Rushing up to him, I kick the gun away from him and watch him squirm until he stops moving. I don't even bother to utter anything, I just look at his body in silence until my left arm starts to sting. One glance at it shows that I was only grazed by the bullet, but it still managed to take a small amount of skin away as it passed. This is the work of a round that had some form of jacketed hollow point. It managed to just cut me as the cartridge expanded. Jesus, if he'd actually hit me, I would be in a lot of trouble. After a minute of mental fortitude, I managed to ignore the pain and focus again. I need to find Sayori. Running back to the forest, I try to find any sort of indicator or marker that could lead me to her, but I find nothing that helps me. Help! Sayori's scream calls out to anyone desperately to my left. I stretch out my sides farther and farther so I'm able to cover more ground each step. I'm 3 rounds down in this magazine, I have 12 left before I need to reload. Sayori's screams get louder as I rip through the forest. My feet practically touch the ground for a fraction of a second before they push me forward and lift off again. This is what Ashley meant when she said, "You will know only one thing. To protect what you care about at any cost." And right that woman was. It's time for me to make her proud. Please, let me go! Shut the fuck up. Ow! Please stop hitting me! Get your fucking hands off of her. Huh? Sayori lies on the ground cowering her fear, her skin bruised and bloody, her clothes torn and dirty. The man dressed in the white shirt and black slacks looks at me startled. It's you! I reach for his throat and pull him off of Sayori. She looks up at me in disbelief. Level engine? Still holding the man's throat in my hands, I lift my right foot down to his left knee and kick it inward so it concaves. The sound that comes from his knee is exactly what I was going for. It's broken. His scream gives me the opportunity to force him onto the ground. Level engine! Give me a second, Sayori. There are more of them coming from over there! Sayori points southwest as 2 more men come skulking through the greenery. I bring the butt of my handgun down into the man's skull that I have underneath me, knocking him unconscious almost immediately. Sayori is here with me. I can't risk her life any more than it already is. I take Sayori's hand into mine and start to run down a slope that leads us to a path further into the forest. Level engine, you came to save me. From vague memory, I think I had like 6 energy tanks when I went into like Dark Torvus Bog's underwater temple to fight the Grapple Guardian. Right. Sayori tries to keep up, but I can't help but notice an irregularity in her step. When I look back, Sayori is limping and clutching her left thigh. We're not going to make it out of here if we're going to be this slow. Get on my back, I'll get us out of here. But now. Sayori yelps at me, raising my voice, and submissively climbs onto my back, wrapping her arms around my collarbone, but leaving enough space for me to breathe. The regular one. I think I had like 5 when I went to go fight the Alpha Blog. As I run, Sayori's body jumps up and down with mine. Level Engine, you're hurt! It's just my arm, it isn't serious. Does it hurt? Well, I must admit that it isn't serious. It also doesn't help that you keep hitting your elbow against it as I run. Oh, I'm sorry. Sayori brushes her tears away on her shoulder by tilting her neck. Are you hurt anywhere else except your thigh? I'm sore all over. You're bleeding. I have a bunch of cuts, but nothing too bad. I'm not bleeding to death or anything. Good. Listen, I'm going to get you out of here. But I'm going to need your entire cooperation no matter what I ask, okay? I trust you. Good girl. Now when we reach the top of that small hill over there, I'm going to sit you down and I want you to hide. Hide? Why? Aren't we already far enough from those two? Yes, but there are others who have been following us. Really? I didn't expect you to notice, but I did as soon as we started running. The only way to stop them from coming after us further is if I draw them off to the left there. That way it is away from you. But won't that mean? Yes, but remember, I need you to listen to me no matter what, okay? Fine. Alright, hop off, stay down, and don't make a single sound. No matter what you hear, understood? Keep your fucking voice down. For God's sake, do you want us killed? Please come back to me safe. If I don't come back, you need to get out of here yourself. But I will ensure that tonight you will get home safely. How do we get out of here if you don't come back? If you keep heading in this direction, you will reach the road that borders the forest. Once you get there, you should be able to discern where in town you are and run home. Monica should be there waiting for you. Once you get there, call the police and tell them everything. Okay. I take Sayori's head and lower it enough so I can kiss her forehead. Afterwards, I quickly turn away and start running in the opposite direction of her. I managed to reach a more familiar part of the forest I've been to before. This should be a good idea for an ambush. Hunkering down in the small foxhole, I calm my breathing and listen for my cue. 3 men, all holding firearms, walk down the trail next to me. Where are you supposed to get that missile extension in that concrete box thing and that morph ball rail in the bog? I don't exactly remember every single little detail in Echoes like I do the first Metroid Prime. I'd probably have to play it again myself to remember most of it, most likely. What is this on the ground? It looks like blood. Haha, I knew we got him. Where is he, though? You, go follow the blood trail. Ugh. I knew one of us hit him. There's no way a kid like him can run for too long with that girl. What? Wait, this blood leads to a dead deer? Not only a dead deer. Huh? I slowly set the man's body onto the ground and start to walk towards where he came from. He fell right into my trap. I was originally worried that more than one were going to follow, but thank God that didn't happen. I can't waste too much time with these two, as there are about 3 other confirmed people following me. Hey, what's taking so long? That's 2 more down. I can feel the rush of air as something flies past my face and hits the tree next to me. I see the kid! I dive into the bushes and start to get as far away from these people as I can. Fuck being quiet. Just shoot the bastard. Jesus Christ. I can't get lucky like this forever. If it wasn't for these trees I am weaving in and out of, I would be long gone. A few more meters. Reaching a small divot in the foliage, I duck down into it and remain motionless. After a minute, my pursuers pass right by me. I need to keep moving away from Sayori. The most I can do now is hope to God she's getting out of the forest by now. How do I get out of here? It seems like this forest just stretches on forever. Ouch. My leg still hurts a lot. I really hope Level Engine's okay. Maybe I should go back and help him? He could be really hurt and I might be able to save him. No, he said he wanted me to get home. If I turn back now, I could disrupt him and he could die. So I'll do what he wants. He's doing this for me, after all. I want to prove to him I can be strong, too. All this time, Level Engines has been there to protect me and keep me safe from danger. And when these guys took me, beat me, did things to me, used me to get Monica hurt, it made me realize how weak I really am. I just want to be strong like my friends. So I will be strong. Sayori visibly looks around her surroundings. The darkening night swallows the forest and makes things hard to see. But if she keeps going the direction the Level Engine gave her, she can get out of here. When Dad and I would go camping, he always taught me that if I ever start to lose my orientation, I can look around at the way the trees are angled. All of the trees are pointing in the opposite direction the Level Engine told me to go. I move slowly and carefully onwards, trying to make sure no one sees me. Oh God! The gunfire keeps making me jump. It sounds like it is far away from me, but it's so loud that I can't fully tell. Just ignore them, Sayori. Just ignore them. If there is still gunfire, that means that Level Engine is still alive and leading them away. Please just don't be hurt. I believe in you. You're my hero. Ack! The stinging in my leg is making it a little hard to keep running. But I know I can keep going. I could be killed if I don't get out of here. Ugh! My foot must have slipped into this small ditch. Ouch. As I stand up, I hear something behind me. Hello there, little lady. Huh? I turn around and the man who is much taller than me grabs me and covers my mouth. He looks to be around Level Engine's height and weight, but he's really pale and scary looking. He looks into my eyes and smiles menacingly into them. No! Get off of me! Never, you little witch. You have brought hell onto us. The Grim Reaper walks among us and he's taking our lives. So in recompense, we must take yours. You freak! He crawls on top of me, but I manage to shove my right knee up and make contact with his crotch. His eyes go wide and practically pop out of his head. Pushing against him as hard as I can, I lift my legs up and place my feet against his stomach. As I deeply exhale to relieve the pain in my left thigh, I push the man off of me. He falls backward and into the ditch, giving me a chance to get to my feet and start running. Oh no, oh no, oh no! The man gets up after a few seconds and starts to chase after me again, screaming as he gets closer. Get away from me! Ignoring the stinging in my left thigh, I run over a hill, not anticipating the drop that follows. I lose my footing and start to tumble down the hill until I feel something hard hit my head. Oh no, did she die? My feet keep me moving despite the pain I feel in my left arm. Still weaving between the trees I pass, I gain more and more distance from my pursuers and Sayori. Once I am sure I've lost them, I can set up another ambush. Damn it. If I could actually get into one of the greener and more lush trees if my arm wasn't refusing to cooperate with me. The burning on my lungs with each breath I take indicates I need to stop and rest. I've been running constantly and the adrenaline is going to wear off soon. Looking around my surroundings for any place to catch my breath, I notice a small cabin about half of a mile to the east. It looks to be surrounded by trees and could be a suitable place to catch my breath and rest. I get behind a tree, pick up a large-sized rock, and throw it to the west. The echo and sound it causes should draw my pursuers away from me. Loud and solid thumps echo through the forest as the rock hits trees, other rocks, and topsoil on its way down. Keeping myself low, I move away from the rock's direction towards the cabin. The cabin is decrepit, abandoned, and inconspicuous in nature. After checking the busted windows and looking into it, I sneak into the door and close it behind me. Still having my handgun at the ready, I look around the room with my eyes adjusting to the pitch darkness that engulfs me. So far, so good. There's someone slumped over and leaning against the wall opposite from me. A squatter? The person looks up and their face immediately throws me into a panic. Level Engine? Sayori, what are you doing here? I struggle to keep my voice down, looking back out the window into the forest. I tried to run away, but someone caught me. I managed to get away from him, but then he started to chase me. While I was running away, I slipped and fell down a really long hill and hit my head. When I woke up, I was really dizzy, so I tried to walk around and I found this place here. Okay, that's good to hear. The dizziness didn't go away, so I sat down and rested my head against the wall. Then you walked in and scared me. I told her to get out of the forest. Frustration welling up inside of my stomach, I run my hand through my hair and begin to think. Alright, we should wait here for a bit. If everything goes well over the next hour or so, we can leave this cabin and get you home. Do you think they will be safe? Well, if they don't find us by then, they could possibly assume we already got out of the forest. And we can use that opportunity to escape. I understand. Level Engine, your shoulder! Sayori's eyes focus on a large blood stain on my left shoulder, around my upper forearm. It's nothing. I just managed to get cut while I was drawing them away from you. Is it bad? It stings, but isn't something I haven't experienced before. But enough worrying for now. Let's just relax and stay quiet. Guiding her to sit down. After a moment of making sure she's comfortable, I sit down next to her. Level Engine, you look tired. Eh? It's nothing. It's just the adrenaline wearing off. What do you mean by that? It's something that a lot of people, specifically emergency services, military, and professional fighters go through. The term is called adrenaline exhaustion at my job. Your body produces high amounts of adrenaline due to times of stress, effectively ignoring essential fight or flight responses. After your body exudes a lot of constant adrenaline, it uses too much energy and you become exhausted as an after effect. I guess I'm just tired from everything so far. Yeah, I guess I can understand that. I'm really tired too. My heart has been racing for a while, now that it's calmed down, I'm sleepy. After a solid minute of complete silence, Sayori breaks it. I'm sorry that I caused all of this. It was because of me that you and Monica got involved and got hurt. When she does turn to look at me, her sapphire eyes are watery with regret and remorse. You guys are my friends and I didn't want this to happen. Hearing her voice crack, I wrap an arm around her and pull her close. Don't apologize. Not for this. You had no control over any of this. We just came to help. Monica and I care about you just as much as you care about us. And we weren't about to sit around and do nothing about this. But you guys... I place my index finger over her lips and make a quiet shushing noise. Sayori, I am rather painfully aware of the situation we are in. But Monica is safe now, and I have to get you home safe as well. None of this was your fault, so you shouldn't blame yourself for any of this. Especially if we came to help you. I just want to go back to the days when we were in the club, just having fun peacefully. I know. I do too. Those days of peace and tranquility are what I long for as well. It's the reason why I came here to the city. I was tired of all the hell and chaos. I wanted to live a normal life where I didn't have to worry about hurting others. I'm still not sure what you do for your job, but I know you're a good person who just wants to help and protect everyone. No, Sayori. No, I'm not. I wish I could tell her how I truly feel inside. About all of this. About my past. About my own fears. But after all I've learned, it's that I'm capable of ignoring my feelings and my hesitations. I have to stay strong for Sayori. I appreciate you, Sayori. Huh? What do you mean by that all of a sudden? I look up to you in a lot of ways. How? Well, you always seem so happy, even though you struggle on the inside with your depression. Your friends are always a priority for you, and your concern for their safety and happiness is honorable. And the fact that you always want to do what is right. I actually really admire it. It's not something I can do, but if you do it so easily, and that is something I want to learn. Level Engine, you can be sweet and caring at times too. That a fact? Yeah, like you always made sure I was okay if I was feeling sad during the club. You always made sure I wasn't alone during lunch, and how we would eat together. And when the bullies started bothering me, you promised you would protect me. That's right. Kagan paid a bunch of girls to start bullying this sweet girl, just so he could come in and save the day, all in an attempt to win her heart. I'm too exhausted to get upset about that, so I lean my head back against the wall and relax. I do that because I care about you, Sayori. None of the effort I put in tonight, or even the last few months, would have been put forth if it was anyone but you. Ever since you started pestering me to join your club, or even to walk you home afterward, I've felt something with you. Like you're someone I'm able to count on in more ways than one. I haven't felt this way in a long time, since... Sayori scoots closer to me and rests her head on my right shoulder. Thank you, for everything you've done for me. You're a great friend and a great boyfriend. I don't respond. It isn't that I don't know what to say, but I can't physically bring myself to speak anymore. Exhaustion begins to make each of my limbs heavier and heavier until I can no longer move them. I close my eyes and slowly lose consciousness. The coughing makes my lungs burn more and more. My throat scratches and tears with each convulsion. I force myself to my knees and place my hands on the cold concrete floor to hold me up. I manage to throw it up. He keeps giving me weird pills and drinks. and they all make me either really dizzy or really sick. I don't like it at all. My stomach turns and makes me wince as a sharp pain causing me to vomit again. Ugh, my body feels hot every time I puke. I've been managing to drink water from the water hose for a while, so I don't feel too sick anymore. But my stomach doesn't ever feel right after a few minutes. I keep having hallucinations of weird things on the walls. Spiders. Weird figures. Shadows, which is scary because there's no light in here to make them. I just want to cry. I want Dad to like me. I want Mom back. The dizziness is coming back. I can't hold myself up anymore. The sounds of a loud bang and several people yelling wake me up. Drool oozes out of my mouth and puddles onto the floor. Ugh, gross. I try to pick myself up off of the ground, but I don't have the strength to. Kyo? The sound of something really loud from upstairs startles me. What is going on up there? The door to the basement opens and my heart sinks. Oh no. What if someone is here to hurt me again? I can't move. God, they're raiding. Is that my father? I try to lift my head so I can see, but my body still refuses to cooperate. He rushes to the other side of the room and I hear something clicking like metal. I hear him stumble like he's climbing over something. Forcing all my remaining strength into my neck, I turn and face where the sound is coming from. My father is unlocking what seems to be a hidden lock that leads out of the basement. He slides something out and drops it onto the ground, exposing the room to the light of the moon that shines outside. Wait! I can't even speak now. I'm too weak. He doesn't even look back at me before he climbs out of the basement and disappears. He left me. He left me here. Whoever is in the house could come down here and hurt me, and he left me. How could he? Tears uncontrollably start to drip down my cheeks. Whatever is left of my heart has been torn open. So there is more to his cruelty and insensitivity than I expected. He'd leave his own son, one he has spent years torturing without so much as a glance back. I hate you. I hate you, Father. In a fraction of a second, something snaps on my mind. Several pairs of footsteps walk down the stairs and around the room. What is this? One of the pairs stops right in front of me before a flashlight is shined onto my face. Oh my god, there is a kid down here! He looks injured too! What? Radio above, let her know what we found. Ace, we have a child down here. You heard me correct. Male, white, looks to be pretty young, and injured. Got it, I'll come upstairs now. The flashlight allows me to see several people who are all dressed in black and have scary guns walking around the room. One is a girl with brown hair, the one who was talking on, I think, a walkie-talkie. She walks back up the stairs. A minute, that feels like an eternity later, another girl in the same getup as the rest walks down the stairs, but with blonde hair. She walks over to me and kneels down to look at me in the eyes. Dear God, you poor boy. Please. Huh? Please just leave me be. I don't have enough strength to say those words. I'm surprised I was able to just get please out. The girl's face stiffens, but her eyes don't scare me anymore. I'm not going to hurt you. Damn it. Alright, I'm going to take him. The rest of you continue your sweep. The others in the room nod and start moving about. The girl in front of me gently places her hands and arms underneath me and lifts me up. I'm guessing this is Ashley we're talking about here. And all of this was just some giant flashback. Just leave me to die here. She brings me up the stairs and into the hallway that leads to the basement. The lights are all too bright for my eyes to handle. I'm forced to squint or close my eyes. Nothing but white is all I see. I wonder if my eyes are permanently broken from the constant darkness. This is so uncomfortable. My stomach burns, I can barely breathe, I can't move, and I can't even see where I'm being carried to. I find myself slightly shaking my head trying to stop the lights from straining my eyes. Calm down, calm down. It's okay, I promise. I can't see where I'm being taken, I have no idea what direction we are even going in. But all of a sudden, the lights no longer sting my eyes and I am greeted by a starry night sky. What is out here? I look around the large gravel lot that my father lived on. There are several cars lined up next to a long cinder block wall. It looks like the girl's carrying me to the last car of the line. Once we reach the car, she manages to get one of the doors open and places me onto the seat. Afterwards, she helps prop me upright and looks me in the eyes. How are you feeling? I try to open my mouth, but instead my chest feels heavy and I begin to fall forward. Luckily, she grabs me before I could and leans the seat back so I may comfortably relax. Still not able to talk yet, huh? Just lie there and rest for a while. I'm falling asleep. Poor kid. Looks like he has been through hell. He's literally covered in cuts and bruises. There was also a lot of vomit on the floor when we found him. They drugged him to test the effects. Fucking bastards. He's just a boy. Damn, Ashley, it's been a while since I've seen you this concerned over someone who isn't one of us. I can't help it, Julia. When you said there was a child down there, alive, I guess my maternal instincts just took over. Seeing him there on the ground inches from death really sent some strong messages and signals through my mind. I see you're already soft on him, eh? No idea what you're talking about. It's kind of cute, you know? Oh, Julia, I don't know what we're gonna do about him. He was listed nowhere on the briefing, and I don't even think there was a proper procedure for this regarding the kid. He must be his son. We should check for any children listed under his name. He's truly alone in this world now. No, he isn't. Huh? Ash, where are you going? I'm gonna make a few calls and then get the clean-up crew out here. Alright. Are you really taking that chance? Leaning on the wooden banister on my forearms, I look out into the lake. It's normally very blue and clear, but the clouds above block that. The water just remains a gray pool of limitless thoughts and memories. I keep looking off to the side, expecting her to be there with me, but whenever I do, she isn't. And every time, my heart hurts intensely. I haven't spoken to anyone at all since I was given the news. I don't even want to speak anymore. There's no reason to. I hear some footsteps from behind me, and a hand is gently placed onto my shoulder. Hey. I cock my head to look at Julia, who is wearing a black suit. No makeup, her eyes red as if she just stopped crying. Not responding, I look back out to the lake. She takes a moment to lean onto the banister with me and take in the ironic setting in front of us. I'm sorry, Julia. Huh? Don't you start apologizing now. I've heard that all day, and coming from you just makes it worse. I can't help it. You were just as close to her as I was. Haha. She laughs sadly. I think you're wrong about that. She loved you with all of her heart. The moment she found you, she knew you were going to be a big part of her life. And that I was, eh? I caused her quite a lot of stress and misery. Hey, don't say things like that. You're starting to sound like your old self. Right, my apologies. This was her favorite place to be. And it's where I knew I'd find you. She brought you here so many times that she felt she was annoying for doing it. What? Now don't go off and start telling me things like that. I know my voice sounds fine, but I'm desperately trying to hide my emotions from Julia and the people around. She felt annoying for bringing me to this place? I always loved coming here. Even if I didn't say it. Damn it, Ashley, I guess that part is my fault. I never told you I liked this place, or even being here with you. But god damn it, I enjoyed every minute of being around you. Why did I have to come to this? You helped me become who I am today. You saved me from myself when all I wanted was to die and give up on this world. Of course, your beautiful blue eyes saw past my hatred and resentment. You saw there was good in me. I still don't even know if I have that meaning anymore, since all I do is follow the orders I am given, no matter the cost or life involved. This is affecting me a lot, but I know it is hitting you worse. Do you want to talk about it? No. I think I'm just going to sit here for a while. Alright. If only you were here right next to me. If only I could say that I was sorry for everything. For all the hell I put you through. For being ignorant and combative all the time. If only I could say thank you for everything. For how much you helped develop me out of your own care. How much effort you put into making me who I am. But I can't say those things. I missed my chance and I will never have it again. Levelange, I need to tell you something. I know life has been hard on you and it may seem like no one cares or is there for you, but you mean a lot to me. More than you will ever know. I am here for you. And if the very sky were to fall, I would stand before you ready. To protect you, to guide you, and to watch you grow and develop. The clouds above begin to cry onto the land, almost as if the quote itself had broken God's heart. Those who are left around me have already fled the rain to their cars and left. I look around the lakeside and it appears I am the only one left. Normally the rain doesn't bother me, but today is so much heavier. Every drop that hits me has a weight that just adds to the imminent sense of the world crashing onto my shoulders. The sky's falling, Ashley. But you aren't before me. I'm alone, and I don't know what to do. Need to get a better webcam. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. Especially if I want to just scale it up to, like, cover the whole screen. But no matter how hard I try, the tears fall. I miss you, Ashley! I throw my body up and scream into the sky. After my explosive outburst, I throw my hands back out onto the ground and start to bang my fist against the deck. I allow myself to not hesitate anymore. I start crying loudly and desperately to try to get this pain in my heart to go away. But it doesn't fade no matter what. All of a sudden I feel a hand rest against my shoulder. I turn back and look at the figure through my tears. Level engine. Julia stands behind me, shocked and also crying. I assume she never thought this burst of emotion would come out of me. She doesn't say anything else after calling my name. She drops onto the deck with me and wraps her arms around me. We both sit and cry together in the rain for a while. So we're actually back in the cabin. A creak from the decaying wood of the cabin wakes me up. Sayori is no longer resting against me. Sayori? She doesn't appear to be in here with me. Damn it. As I stand up, someone walks through the entrance towards me. Oh, level engine! Where were you? I had to pee. I thought they had found you. Sayori looks off the side, embarrassed until she notices something about me. Are you okay? You look like you were crying. Oh. Yeah, I'm fine. I reach up and realize I've been crying in my sleep. Yeah, indeed. Quickly wiping away the tears, I look out the window and into the forest again. How long was I asleep for? About an hour. Alright, let me take a look outside for a sec. Stay in here, okay? Right. I take a look around the area and try to discern any possible threats or signs of people. And so far everything looks clear and calm. But it's so damn dark out, it's hard to make out much. Even with my eyes being used to this. It's going to take some careful navigation to get us out of here quickly and safely. Looking up at the sky, I can see the many clouds have formed over the trees, limiting the amount of natural moonlight. Brings back memories of one of my final exams. An oddly morbid smile forms on my face as I reminisce of that entire ordeal. Sayori peeks her head up out the window and looks at me. It should be safe for us to start making our way out. Waving Sayori to come out, she hesitantly steps out of the cabin and looks around. It's kind of cold out here, don't you think? Now that you mention it, it is kind of brisk. Oh well. That just means we can't sit around talking anymore. We have to start moving. Where do we go from here? I rub my right hand across my chin while I think and survey the area. My left arm still refuses to cooperate with me fully. It's been dislocated for quite some time now. It's becoming a little uncomfortable at this point. And since it is not wanting to work with me, I might have to reset it soon. In the off chance we get into a bad situation, I need to be able to fight. I have a pretty mean right hook, but I can't aim properly while I'm on the move with one hand. The stuff you see in movies where people can run and shoot with sniper accuracy is all bullshit. Even walking and shooting makes it difficult to hit your target with one hand. Actually, on second thought, Sayori, before you go, can you check the cabin for anything that could be useful? Oh, sure. Anything specific? Just anything in general. If it's not broken or rubble, grab it. I look into the ominous forest and begin to conjure up a plan on how Sayori and I can get out of here. It's dark, which we can use to our advantage. We can easily get through the forest with less of a chance of being spotted. Even so, if we're going to successfully navigate this area with so many hostiles scattered around, I'm absolutely going to need the use of my arm. I reach over to my left shoulder with my right hand and slowly palpate the area to determine the damage. Luckily, the bullet wound itself has only grazed flesh. The force of the impact at such close range, however, pushed my humerus out of its socket. I need to find the new location of my humeral head. After a few seconds of the excruciating search, I find it lodged against a small, hard acromion process of my scapula. My arm is effectively stuck between the lip of the joint and this piece of the scapula, preventing any movement. I try to slide my hand along my back and grip the area in question to push it forward, but I can't reach from an angle to push it forward. As I attempt to move the humerus, the only direction I can push by myself is inward, resulting in sheer agony as I can feel the humeral head butting against the smaller bone. I found some things! Sayori returns from the darkness with an unlit white candle in one hand and a small green plastic box in the other. Are you okay, Level Engine? What's that face for? I'm going to need your help with something. Okay, like right now. Oh, okay, what you need? I need you to set my shoulder. It's dislocated. I'm not a doctor, silly. I don't know how to do that. I need you to be strong for me. It's not complicated. I need you to just pull on my arm until you feel a pop. Sayori cringes and clasps her hands together in front of her chest. That doesn't sound very good, but I'll try my best. For you, Level Engine. Touch my left shoulder, Sayori. I want you to feel where the top of my arm bone is, so you understand where it needs to go. It looks weird. It doesn't look right. And that's why we're going to fix it right now. Push into it. Full of uncertainty, she hesitates for a second and glances at my face sideways. Then she presses into the joint delicately. Oh, that's not right. Your arm is kind of behind where it's supposed to be. That's what dislocated means, woman. Sorry, what do I do now? Grab my bicep with your right arm, my forearm with your left. Now my arm is behind where it's supposed to be, right? And kind of up a little, so it needs to go down and forward to fix it. Pull down on my bicep and pull forward on my forearm. Okay, here it goes! The pain intensifies as she starts to pull down on my arm, but it doesn't move much. I know she's trying not to hurt me, but it's not enough force to slide the head of my humerus over to the lip of the socket. In other words, she isn't pulling hard enough to put my arm back in place. Harder? You need to pull harder. Eep! I don't want to hurt you! If you do it right away, it'll hurt way less than if you do it slowly. The head of my humerus begins to move away from the small scapula bone. My eyes squint as I feel the needle-sharp jabs plague my shoulder. Now forward, make it pop! I can hear her whimpering as she uses her left hand to bring my arm forward, dragging the humerus in the same direction. After a few seconds, I can feel an even sharper, nagging pain as the head drags across the edge of the shoulder joint socket. Sayori lets a hushed "oh" as she feels the bone pop back into the socket. As the joint is reset, I exhale sharply. Relief washes over me like a wave. Was that it? Move my arm around. Does it move at all? She maintains her grip and quickly moves my arm in a circular motion. Nothing catches or hinders the movement. The joint is still extremely sore, however. Yeah, I said that's fine now. Sorry. She releases my arm and steps back, looking at me shyly and holding her hands together again. Did I do it right? It's back to its usual spot. You did, Sayori. Thank you. I look back toward the candle in the green plastic box that Sayori forged from the cabin. Sayori steps back, still looking at me dejectedly after putting me through an immense physical pain only just a second ago. I was a little hard on her during that, but to be honest, things could get a lot worse tonight. She may have to do more than pop a bone back into place. A sweet girl like Sayori has a soft and gentle touch. Something like this was definitely not meant for her. Approaching the scavenged treasure, I take the green plastic box in my hand and inspect it. It has several cracks on the sides of the case, and the once vibrant green color shows evident fade. Opening the case, I notice a single coil of clear fishing line, a couple of silver curved hooks, a straight threading needle, and a bunch of cracked and broken bobbers. The single coil of fishing line looks stable enough to use. I unreel about half a foot of length from it and quickly apply tension to the line. It makes a little boing from the tension, so this is still usable. So what do you think we can use with these? Not quite sure yet. The line is decently long, but some of these hooks are rusted, so we can't really trust their strength due to the oxidation. The candle could provide us some light or maybe a distraction if needed. These bobbers, however, are completely useless. Closing the plastic box and making sure the plastic clasp holding it shut is secured. I put it in my left pocket and turn to Sayori. Sayori's eyes, even in the situation we are in, emanate hope, which, to be honest, actually helps relieve some of my stress. I pat her on the shoulder and look her in the eyes. We should probably start heading out. You ready? Of course I am! Originally, I believed the direction I had Sayori going to get out of the forest was west. But since we both got mixed up, I can't tell which direction that is anymore. Maybe one of the trees around have moss. Moss always grows on the north end of a tree. Moss grows on the north end of a tree, but we need to go west, so moss doesn't always point to civilization. So yeah, the pioneers were wrong in this case. At least from there I can determine where west is. And just my luck. No moss. Oh, god damn it. What's the matter? There's no moss on these trees, so I can't determine where north is. And in order for us to get out of here, we need to head west. And to be completely honest, I have no idea where that is right now. Oh, I have an idea! Huh? Why don't you use the stars to find out what direction we're facing? The stars? Yeah. Me and my dad went camping one time, and I remember telling me a cool way to find out what direction we're facing. Focus on a star and watch the direction of its movement. Sayori, you were onto something! For some reason, Sayori's idea is absolutely ingenious. I have no idea why I never thought of it. I almost want to kiss her, but I suppress that urge. The movement of a star indicates the direction you are facing. If it moves left, you are facing north. If it moves right, you are facing south. If it moves up, you are facing east. If it moves down, you are facing west. To be honest, I heard about that back in my old school, but I dismissed it as being prosperous. Yay! Can you still remember how to do that? Don't we need to have something else? Yeah, you need to have 2 sticks on the ground, one smaller than the other. Then you look at the tip of each branch and align them with a star. I'm on it. So you get sticks. I hope to god this works. If not, we'll be walking for a while. After a minute, I look at Sayori behind me, searching around for sturdy sticks from the decaying wood around. Sayori's a lot smarter than you would think just by looking at her. Maybe just her cute and vulnerable demeanor is deceptive. So she is a woman with the possibility of hidden weapons. I love it. Sayori and I finish setting up our little station and aim the sticks towards a pocket of sky where you can clearly see some stars. I lie down onto the ground, ignoring the extremely agitating soreness from my left arm, and try to focus on a star. When I do, I lock my eye on it and don't look away. I guess if Sunflower really doesn't want to answer, then I don't see why she should. But I don't see why she wouldn't want to answer, like whether or not she played Metroid. So Level Engine, I forgot to ask. How did you find me and Monica? I'm a man of many quirks, Sayori. Those just happen to be amplified in intensity when it comes to stressful situations like this. Did Monica tell you about this? Nope. In fact, I'm kind of irritated that she didn't. But on the flip side, I understand why she didn't. They threatened you and she had no way of knowing how far their reach is. What do you mean by that? Well, we don't really know how these guys would know if she told me or anyone else about the meeting tonight. And sometimes we really can't take that risk. She didn't take it and came alone, which if I had not shown up by the time I did. I see. Basically, Monica acted very odd earlier. That's how I found you two. I had reason to believe that it was maybe caused by these people, so I followed her until she entered the forest. But I ran into a few problems on my own while tailing her. And those few problems were taken out as fast as I could. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here with me now. Thank you for saving Monica and me. Don't mention it. You girls are important to me. Also, I haven't officially saved you yet. We still need to get out of here. Does your guardian Julia know about all this? She knows everything up until I came here today. I wasn't able to reach her, plus she would have said sit back and wait for the police to get involved anyway. It's moving upward. We're facing east, so behind us is west. Rising up from the ground and dusting myself off, I reach my hand out to Sayori to help her up. After she's on her feet, I lean toward the ground and offer to climb on my back. She reluctantly climbs on, knowing her thigh is causing too much pain for her to be running. After she is secured onto my back, I start to slowly walk down a narrow trail. Thank you for carrying me. Well, I certainly can't have you limping around when we need to get out of here, so no need to thank me. Level Engine, there's something I need to ask you. What is it? You are so cool during all of this. How do you know how to shoot or fight or anything like that? I realize the magnitude of the question. Sayori. I know a lot of this stuff because I have to, not because it was by choice. Ever since I was young, I was taught all of this because I was going to need it later on in life, and I definitely did. That's why I was able to find and save you tonight. But who taught you this? Someone very close to me. She felt I was going to be able to handle it since I didn't believe I was going anywhere in my life. My dad left me for dead and abandoned me, so I basically had no purpose left in this world. But out of all the negatives I've had to endure so far, a few good things did come out of it. Like what? Well, for starters, I was able to pick myself up off of the ground. I became someone I didn't think I could ever become. And I guess I met you girls. Well, you fight alien monsters too, that's a pretty big part of it, and in many of the games, especially past like the first couple ones, you frequently also fight these space pirates, who actually killed some of Samus's family members. So yeah, the space pirate she's fighting made her life a living nightmare, and in return she's doing the same to them. Let me tell you, Sunflower, you're missing out if you haven't played a Metroid game. It will go back to the way it was before, right? I don't know if I can answer that for her. When things like this happen, it isn't like everything will erase and everyone will forget and move on. People like me are shown a true light. We kill people for our own gain. We do whatever it takes for whatever our goals are. And because of that, others look at us differently. And my goal tonight, no matter the cost, is to protect Sayori. If I can at least do that, I will be fine with whatever outcome we have. Right. Let's just keep going. But damn it, I don't want to lie to her. I don't want to tell her the truth that I don't know how tonight is going to end. To be honest, I should at least tell her the truth. Ashley always did to me. Sayori. I don't know how things are going to end tonight. So I can't really answer you that. But I can promise you I will do everything I can to ensure everything does go back to normal, okay? Thank you. Anytime. As we continue down the trail, we reach a clearing where the moonlight shines across the grass and gives us a moment to reflect on the scenery. We stop in the middle of the field and look around in front of us. Not a bad view, eh? Nope, it's pretty! Wait a second, someone is behind us! I turn my head to notice a man dressed in all black throwing his right arm overhand with a knife towards Sayori's back. What? Pivoting my hips and grabbing her hands, prying them off of me, I throw Sayori off my back just in time before... Gah! Something sharp slices the upper left part of my back. A very dull but intense pain begins to linger, but it isn't long before it amplifies into a very sharp stinging sensation. Turning myself around and drawing my handgun, I try to aim for his head, but he catches me off guard and shoves his fist right into my stomach. Ah! I stumble backward before watching him try to swing again, but he's too slow. I manage to catch his arm and muster up enough strength to pull him close, tilt him opposite of me. I wrap my arms around his throat. I pull his neck in a direction it was not intended to go, and his body goes limp immediately. He falls onto the ground with a heavy thud and I feel my knees grow weak. Level engine! Sayori gets up off of the ground and rushes over to me. I can't actually see her, but I can hear her footsteps getting closer to me. Dropping to my knees, I lean forward towards the ground. Oh my god, level engine, you're back! It isn't serious. When I draw my hand back to look at it, there's a concerning amount of blood covering it. Damn it. He managed to actually nick me pretty good. And judging from the amount of blood that my hand caught was just a small tap, my thoughts trail off as I try and think of what to do. I didn't expect any of them to be so close after all this time, but at least one is down. Let's get out of this field. We are exposed here. Right. Sayori and I walk back into the tree line, where after making sure no one else is following us, I sit down on the rock and lean forward. Sayori, I need you to look at my back and tell me how bad it is. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. She immediately gasps and covers her eyes with her hands. No, 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 no! It looks really painful and bad, level engine. Well, it definitely doesn't tickle. You're bleeding a lot. No shit. He must have cut a large area near a very active blood vessel or something, because if we don't do something about this soon, I'm going to be too weak to keep going. The fishing line! Huh? I'm so glad you found this earlier. You can use this fishing twine on one of the non-rusted needles to close my cut. But I don't know how to do any of that. I'm sure you'll do fine. It's just like sewing up a teddy bear, okay? I don't know if I can do it. Sayori! Sayori jumps and cries a little when I raise my voice. Listen, sweetheart. This is definitely not an easy task, but you are the only person I can count on to do this. I can't stitch myself back together right now on my own. And if you can't do it, I can't help you get out of this forest. You'll be on your own. The most I could do when I'm found is to fight like hell with whatever strength I have left. I can try! I'll do whatever it takes to keep you safe. Good, I'll help guide you through this, okay? I take out the straight needle and thread the fishing twine onto it. The fishing twine is not the thinnest type of twine out there, so this is going to hurt a lot. But as long as I can keep my breathing in check and stay strong for Sayori, we can get through this. I start to give her instructions on how to stitch my back up. She gets behind my back and outside of my vision. Even from here, I can feel her hesitation resonate from her gentle figure. But she's a strong girl. She can do this. Got the needle? Yeah. I'm going to light this candle right here by striking my knife against the rock, trying to create some sparks that can ignite the wick. Once this wick is lit, I want you to hold the needle over the flame for at least 10 seconds to ensure it sterilizes the needle from any bacteria. Alright. It takes me a couple of tries before I manage to successfully light the candle and pass it back to Sayori. After a minute, she pats me on the shoulder to indicate she's ready for instructions. So I want you to, with your free hand, close the wound. Got it. As her hands close the gash on my back, the pain intensifies, but not too much. Now, with the sharp edge of the needle, I want you to start from one of the edges of the cut. Push the needle through both sides of the cut, then wrap the twine through. And then gotta do this the whole way down where the cut is, so... yeah, this is certainly gonna hurt a lot and for a while. The instant the needle starts to force its way through my skin, the pain gets so much worse. But Sayori does it with relative ease. Okay, it's done. Good girl. Now bring the needle back around to the side from where you initially stuck it in on, let's say, 1/4 of an inch from the first stitch, and repeat. And once again, the needle pushes through any damaged flesh, and the twine easily slides through the muscle. The pain. Oh dear God, the pain. Keep it up until you have the entire cut closed. Are you okay? I'm fine. It just hurts. A lot. I'll be as quick as I can. Be as thorough as you can. Right. After literally what feels like an eternity of this hellish pain, Sayori stops. What do we do now? Tie into a very strong knot and close the wound. Okay. After feeling Sayori fiddle with my makeshift stitches, she stops and the pain begins to subside. Taking a second to compose myself, I feel Sayori's stitch work and find myself astonishingly impressed. Whoa, Sayori, you did amazing! Did I? Good girl, now take this knife and cut the string. Okay. Sayori grabs my knife and cuts the excess fishing twine off. I grab my shirt and put it back on while simultaneously recovering from the sudden trauma. How did I do? You did great like you always do. You don't mean that. Wouldn't have said it if I didn't. I wonder where that guy came from. I wasn't able to sense him sneaking up on us since you were on my back. That flank was vulnerable. But it confirms that there is still some looking here for us. How's the thigh? I'm okay. It doesn't hurt too bad. Think you can walk for a little bit? I need to be able to be aware of what is around us, or another repeat of this could happen. I can do whatever it takes for you, Level Engine. Hee hee. So we continue walking through the dark forest. Oh, finally done with that assignment. So I guess we're going to like another flashback now? Seriously, why do us division chiefs get stuck with that abrasive grunt work at times? At least I can rest my head on my desk for a while. Ooh. My comfy cozy little office. At least I know I can get some rest here for a bit. It's late and I really don't want to be driving right now. Huh? Why is my pager lit up? Son of a bitch, are you serious? The message on my page was from Level Engine. Julia. Situation at the forest on the northeast side of town. Sayori is there and I am going. Make sure to keep her safe when she gets home. Is this idiot really going to do what I think he is? I throw myself out of the seat and start to dash out of the building to my car. Reaching my car, I quickly get into the driver's seat while dialing Level Engine's number. No answer. Just his voicemail. I seriously hope he's okay. Lately, he has been constantly looking for his girlfriend, and he's gone to some very unnecessary lengths, which are endangering his own life without the concern for others. Granted, I don't question what he does outside the company as long as it doesn't leak anything. but he's going to a length that Ashley and I were only afraid of. My stomach feeling queasy, I try to call Level Legend's commission phone one more time. But once again, I'm directed to his voicemail, which skyrockets my fears. He absolutely never ignores calls from his commission phone, so he's either hurt, or worse. Yeah, this is Julia talking, by the way. I remember that Level Engine repeated a number to me when I requested it after she was hospitalized. Maybe I can call her and find out what exactly is happening down there. Looking through my call logs, I eventually locate Monica's number and give it a call. Hello? Monica, this is Julia. Where are you? Julia? I'm on my way to Sayori's house. I was in the forest because the people who kidnapped her called me and said if I didn't come, they would kill her. What about Level Engine? Where is he? I don't know. He met up with me and then ran into the forest after Sayori. I started to run away after he left. He said to get to her house and call the police. Where in the forest did you see him run off to? I can't remember. I was too scared and dazed to really notice specifically. Damn it. Listen. Sayori's house is right next to Level Engine's. Instead of going to her house, I want you to head to his and I will meet you there. I will call the police and we will get officers out there to help find Sayori and Level Engine. Right. I understand. How long until you get there? About 15 minutes. I'm on the road to town right now. Thank you. Be safe, Monica. I end the call and start to accelerate faster down the road. The growl of the engine grows louder and louder as my speed increases. I'm hoping for the best, that Level Engine and Sayori are safe. Throughout the last week, both of us have learned that the group that abducted Sayori is very organized and ruthless. They will not hesitate to do horrible things to her, especially since Level Engine is now involved. And if something happens to Sayori, then images of what he's capable of flash through my mind in horror. But even worse images flash through my mind of what I could find when we do find him. After a long silence, I start to enter the city and immediately head to Level Engine's house. His house isn't that far now, but that doesn't mean Monica is safe. If she was able to get out of the forest, she could have a tail. And if she does have a tail, then I need to make sure she loses it. However, I'm going to need to make sure Level Engine is found, alive or not. Still keeping my eyes on the road, I reach over to the passenger seat and grab my phone. Pressing a quick dial number on the dial pad, I place the phone to my ear and wait for the other line to answer. So, are you asking me or are you asking EB here? I'm gonna assume you're asking me, and if so, then I just never bothered to figure out the motion controls. I walk around the bend of the sidewalk that leads me to Level Engine and Sayori Street. The ominously dark night makes me all the more terrified. I really hope that they are okay. My fears have been eating at my mind since I left the forest against my will. Last time I tried it was like 10 years ago, and I just never got around to trying again. While I understand why Level Engine forced me to leave, I still wish I could have helped in some way. I couldn't do anything but watch as my friend was being hurt in front of me and nearly dying myself. Heh. Back before Level Engine and the other girls joined the club, I had been very lonely, and I don't want to lose them. Huh? I think I had something behind me. Looking over my shoulder, I don't see anything or anyone around. Maybe a car that drove down the street opposite of me, but nothing really of importance. Well, I guess the events of tonight are still making me super paranoid. A pair of hands wrap around my waist and immediately start to lift me up. Hey, get off of me! Oh god. I start to bang my fists against the hands and arms that are restricting me, but nothing works. They keep trying to lift me up. The person's breath wafts against the back of my neck. Still trying to practically get away from her captor, she swings her elbow backward, trying to make contact with her head. A sudden pain shoots through my forearm as my elbow strikes something hard. The hands around my waist release me as I fall to the ground. Clutching up my elbow and turning onto my back, I see a middle-aged man in similar clothing to the guys who were holding Sayori at the forest. This is one of those guys! Gasping, I try to crawl backward away from him. His eyes make contact with mine and immediately give me a "you're going to pay for that" look. My stomach drops and I try to crawl away much quicker. He starts to walk up towards me. What do I do? Help me! I start to scream as loudly as I can to the night sky, hoping someone will come looking and see this. His eyes bulge out of his head and he looks around in a panic. Why'd you have to scream? I'll just make this quick then. He walks over to me, grabs my foot, and aggressively pulls me towards him. I continue to scream as loud as I can, kicking my other foot at his hand. Just trying everything I can to get away. But as his face gets close to mine again, arms wrap around his neck and he's pulled up off of me. Huh? Go? A tall, black silhouetted figure holds the man in their arms. They both move backward until a streetlight reveals my savior. A tall, blonde woman in a black, form-fitting suit has the man who was attacking me in a headlock. His back is locked upwards and he squirms around their hands. Julia! She doesn't respond. She drags the man over to a car that is parked on the other side of a shrub. I thought Julia had brown hair. I don't know, probably just because of how outright different it was from the GameCube controller you used for Metroid Primes 1 and 2. Because it was just so different from what I was used to playing with, essentially. A sound that I never thought I'd want to hear comes from the man's head. After that, his body goes limp and Julia kicks it to the side. She walks over to me quickly and helps me up. A tall blonde woman. I thought Julia had brown hair, and I thought Ashley was the blonde one. Julia! Sweetheart, you okay? She quickly checks up and down my arms and body for obvious injuries. I nod my head and immediately feel tears burn at my eyes. She pats my shoulder and looks around. Sorry I wasn't a minute earlier. I'm just grateful you showed up at all. What's gonna happen to him? The police are on their way. They already know what's going on, so he'll be taken into custody. Right. Now hurry and get into Level Engine's house. Here's his key. I'll pull my car up to the driveway and make sure officers find this piece of shit here. Got it. Just Baptist Samos Armon. You had to have seen that one Google Translated Metroid Prime stream, where I read one of the scan logs. Yeah, I read one of the scan logs in Google Translated Metroid Prime, specifically Pirate Data, talking about Samus Aran, and the text gets mangled and turned into Baptist Samos Armon. This is also tiring. I can only imagine how Sayori and Level Engine are feeling right now. I make my way over to the couch and into the living room and sit down. Only now do I realize my hands are shaking. The front door opens and closes. Julia approaches me. You okay? Yeah, just a little shaken up. Of course you are. This isn't normally something that happens to people. It's only natural to be scared and in some degree of shock. Can you tell me everything about what happened earlier? Yeah, I can. I clear my throat and explain what happened regarding the call in the meeting at the forest. Through the entire thing, Julia's eyes are coldly professional, almost like Level Engine's. As I finish, she looks back and purses her lips, like what I told her scared her. Maybe I shouldn't have said as much as I did. Thank you for all of this. I'll tell everything to the officers. Just rest up in here. You're too exhausted to really keep going through this. Will do, thank you. I lie horizontally on the couch and watch Julia peer out of one of the windows before heading towards the kitchen. Maybe if I rest my head a bit, I can calm down and at least relax. Monica leans her head back onto the couch. I watch her from the reflection on a silver pot. To see such a young girl involved in something like this, it breaks my heart. But not as much as knowing that someone I have always considered a son or nephew is directly in the middle of it. When all he wanted was to come to the city and live a normal life, but was never actually able to escape the chaos he was born in. When I heard he did want a normal life, it made me chuckle inside. But in our field, once you're in, you won't get out unless you die. And Level Engine knows this very well. Looking at the text message is a confirmation that the police have been dispatched to the forest and were briefed. And one other officer is coming by to take care of the guy that I now have zip-tied on the road. For now, I'm going to stay by Monica to make sure she's safe. I was right about her having a tail. A woman's intuition never steers us wrong, heh? I let myself lean over the counter and breathe freely for a moment. Even I am being hit with a wave of stress because of all of this. But nevertheless, it's not my first rodeo. When the police get to the forest, they will be on cleanup as well, searching for Level Engine and Sayori. I'd go up there and help them look, but Monica's safer with me here. Leaning my left hip against the counter, a sudden fit of discomfort stings at me. Oh! My handgun is still strapped to my hip and it doesn't make for a pillow's comfort, that's for damn sure. I might as well just relax and wait for the inevitable to happen. Alright, let's take a rest here. Okay, so we're finally meeting back up with Level Engine and Sayori. Or whatever you're gonna call the main character when you play this game. Or game mod. The poor girl has been walking for almost a straight hour and she hasn't complained once about the pain in her leg or how tired she is. She really is a trooper. However, at the same time, she can't keep going like this. This force is massive and I don't think we're close to the border of it yet. The most I can do for now is let her rest for a bit. You doing okay? Yeah, just a little tired. Sit down for a while. I motion to a nearby rock that looks comfortable enough for her to sit on. I'm okay. Listen to me, you're going to sit down and rest. Oh, alright. I take her hand to mine and guide her to the rock and help her sit down. She looks up at me with her sparkling blue eyes and smiles. Oh shit, can I greet you? I usually greet every new viewer that comes by the stream, but I was just too busy with reading the story, being immersed in it, just trying to find out how it ends. So yeah, Erica Gamer, welcome. Maybe should have said that about like 10-20 minutes ago. I just really want to find out how this ends. Physicists also told me we're getting pretty close to the ending. You aren't really conditioned to be as active as we were tonight, but nevertheless I am proud that you're holding up. Really? Of course. Sayori has been holding back her tears ever since I first met up with her earlier. She's scared, she is in pain, and she's barely able to hold any anxiety she's feeling. But her composure throughout all of this makes me respect her even more. I would never have expected a girl like Sayori to be able to, I guess, really steel her resolve despite the circumstances. I pat her gently on the shoulder and look into her eyes. She rests her arms and her legs on and leans forward. Gently rubbing my hand on her back, I try to offer her words of encouragement. Just rest for a bit, Sayori. I'm sorry I'm so slow. Don't apologize for that. You're doing great. We're almost out of here. Once you're ready to go, we'll make the last stretch. Do you really think we can get out of here? I wouldn't be sitting here with you while you were too tired to move if I didn't. Just sit here for a moment. Without signal, I can't contact Julie about what's going on. I hope to God that she got my page earlier. I know I give her a hard time, but I do come to trust her at times like this. But one of my concerns is if she trusts me. That's another story for another time. Right now, my only focus is to get Sayori out of this godforsaken forest. Wait a second. I hear sirens! I immediately look back to Sayori. Her eyes meet with mine with relieved elation. We're close enough to the border of the forest that we can hear the sirens as they approach. If we can reach the road in time, we can get the help. Oh, what? You think you can keep going now? Of course, let's go! I decide to stay right behind her, just in case there is anyone behind who wants to stop us from getting out. I stay silent and keep listening to the sirens as they get closer. It sounds as if they are going towards the main entrance of the forest. There's a bunch of campsites where there are a majority of people congregate. As long as I can get Sayori to an officer, she can explain everything that happened. Both of us can get our wounds tended to, we can finally end this nightmare. Not before long we get jumped again. Eh? My phone goes off, startling me out of my thought-filled daze. My thumb hesitates to press the answer button because there is one of the two reasons I'm receiving this call right now. Either Level Engine and Sayori have been found safe, or they've been found dead. So, back to Julia's point of view. Mustering up the courage to press the answer button, I bring the phone to my ear. Ma'am? What is it? 4219 and the girl have been found. They have? Where are they? They're being taken to the hospital currently. They both were found with serious injuries that required immediate attention. That's fine. What were you able to gather from the situation? Well, ma'am, I have a total of 12 bodies being taken to the medical examiner's office. Several of those others have been detained and are en route to the field office downtown. Good. I'll be heading to the hospital shortly. Wrap up everything there and I'll get on the report tomorrow. Actually, ma'am, don't worry about the report. I can take care of that for you. You have more pressing matters to attend to tonight. Thank you, Miyuki. I owe you lunch for this. You're very welcome, ma'am. You able to move? Yeah, why? We're going to the hospital. I nearly scoff at her, but then realize that she was beaten pretty hard earlier, so there's a big chance she has a concussion or her equilibrium's been thrown off. Either way, bringing her with me to the hospital will benefit her as well. She too needs to be checked on. Sometimes the damage is not physically seen on the body. I'm slightly concerned about if she has any internal damage. As Monica and I leave, I lock the door behind us. Monica and I walk into the hospital reception and get her checked in. Afterward, I ask about the status of Level Engine and Sayori, giving the nurse my credentials and explaining that I am Level Engine's legal guardian. This is still probably Julia talking. Yeah. I never thought I'd see someone say God bye again. There's still that one really bad Doki Doki mod with the English. And, oh god, the sex scene with someone who doesn't even come from Doki Doki Literature Club. Someone who comes from K-On! Instead. And then it got even worse when I actually found out about the assistive self-voicing. You are the worst person in the world. God bye killer. How are you feeling? I have a really bad headache, but I'll be fine. Good. Still, we need to get you seen to make sure you don't have any serious damage. I mean, I'm a little dizzy, but not really to the point where I think a doctor is necessary. You never know, Monica. Simply punching someone in the jaw once can lead to a multitude of medical complications. And no offense, you got beaten pretty hard earlier. None taken, I understand. Plus, we can't really do anything until Level Engine and Sayori are done, so we might as well knock this out really quickly. Right. After about 10 minutes of waiting, a nurse comes out and calls for Monica. As she tries to stand up, I look her in the eyes and place my hand on her shoulder. You gonna be okay going in there alone? Yeah, of course. I may not look like it, but I'm okay with being alone. After what seems like an eternity, the receptionist calls out to me. When I approach the desk while holding her desk phone in one hand, she points down the hall with the other. Level Engine is down the hall. Turn to the left, room 105. Thank you. Once I get to 105, I open the door. The door to my room opens and Julia walks in. Once she and I make eye contact, she runs over and hugs me. Gah? Woman, get off of me! Her arms wrap around me and rub against my arm, shoulder, and back. All the places that were injured tonight. I grab her arms and try to pull her off of me, but her grip on me is unexpectedly tight. Thank God you're okay. What? Of course I'm okay. What, did you think I was going to die or something? You don't want that answer. Julia's behaving rather oddly, and to be honest, it's throwing me off. The last time she hugged me like this was when Ashley died. All of a sudden it hits me. She was worried about losing me. I just assumed Julia wouldn't worry. She was one of the people who trained me, but she's also one caring for me. Understanding the stress she must have been under, I wrapped my arms around her as well, ignoring the sharp stinging in my shoulder. I'm okay, Julia. I promise you. I'm glad to hear. What happened to you? When she notices my back, she silently huffs. The fishing line that Sayori used to stitch me up has been removed and replaced with something more professional and medical grade, which did help ease the pain a bit. As for my shoulder that was dislocated, that just needs time to rest. And one of the bullets that grazed my arm didn't cause too much damage, so nothing was really needed for that. After inspecting me, Julia sits down on one of the nearby chairs and crosses her legs. How is Sayori? She's fine. I was able to get her out safely. Her inner thigh was sprained, she had some deep cuts on both of her arms and stomach, but nothing too serious. She got really lucky. Yeah, she did. You did something seriously stupid tonight, but you got her back. Me risking my life for her was not stupid. It was something I knew the risks to and still did it. Why do you think Dark Samus fought both the pirates and Samus? Well, I can assume that the pirates were actually trying to still hunt down Samus, and then they saw Dark Samus, and maybe they thought that that was Samus, and then the pirates tried to attack her, or it, or whatever Dark Samus's gender would be. And then they eventually figured out that there were two Samuses running around. If I'm not mistaken, one of the scan logs reads somewhere in it, surely we are cursed. Sayori doesn't deserve any of this, and if I had any way of stopping her pain, I was going to do it. I see. Well, you're lucky I got your message. If I hadn't, you would probably still be in the forest or dead. I'm very much aware of that, Julia. I had to rely on you, which is a rare thing. Hey! But I knew I could rely on you. Why do you always have to say things like that? Julia's face flushes as she looks away. Heh. I put my shirt back on and gently stretch. So I heard Monika's here at the hospital. Huh? How'd you know? Your assistant told me you were taking her here with you. Ah, yes, she's here. She's also getting checked out. It looks as if her equilibrium is off. Hearing that slightly pisses me off. I grip my hand to a fist and remember what that guy did to Monika. I held back on killing him. I really shouldn't have. But nothing looks too serious. It's just better safe than sorry. I guess. I stand up from my seat on the hospital bed and stretch once more. Well, I don't see a reason to stay in the room anymore. Let's leave and wait for Sayori outside. You need to rest. You may not think so, but you look extremely exhausted. Shut up, I'm fine. No, sit down. Julia! I'm fine! I raise my voice enough to get her to submit. I know I look tired. It's because I am tired. But the night isn't over yet. It won't be for a while. I look into Julia's eyes and try to reassure her, but it doesn't look like it's successful. You are so difficult. You have the opportunity to actually rest for a bit until your friends are released. And here you are rejecting that opportunity. Julia, I have never been the one to rest. Ashley taught me that. And I still get pissed off at her over it. Even she pushed herself too hard at times. But that doesn't mean you have to. You're safe, everything is over, and you can rest now. Not until Sayori is completely safe and all the bastards involved in this fry. I understand. Thank you, Julia. This entire night has been very eventful. It was not the first like this. There was a time before where I spent every last ounce of energy I've had to protect someone close to me. And during the times where you're absolutely certain there is no turning back, you accept the consequences you are inevitably going to face. And I am going to accept the consequences to come. After about 5 minutes of solid, intense silence, I decide to address the elephant in the room. So what's the plan? My assistant is writing up a report about tonight's events. It's going to be a damn long one, too. Not only are the bodies recovered needing to be examined and documented, so are the live people we detained. How many did the local police department arrest? Not as many as I would have liked. Nevertheless, they're being processed right now, and hopefully we can come up with something. Let me know if anything does come up. You'll be the first to know. Thanks, Jules. I'm pretty sure the girls are finished up by now. I'm going to go outside and wait for them. Right, I'll get all of you discharged. Walking into the waiting room, I spot Monika sitting down on one of the chairs. Her eyes widen when she sees me. Level Engine, you're alright! Sorry, it's just my back and my shoulder don't feel all that up to being hugged. What will the doctor say about your head? I have a mild concussion, so nothing too serious. I'll be fine. Glad to hear. Monika is okay. Thank God. I hate to admit it, but I was actually pretty worried about her after I sent her away from the forest. The prick who attacked her was pretty brutal. I'm glad I showed up when I did. If I was a minute later, I don't think she would have been in as good a shape. Monika went to an extreme length for Sayori, a length that not many would be willing to go. I respect Monika for that. Contrary to my own belief, I couldn't have saved Sayori tonight if it wasn't for her. Huh? Thank you, Monika. Thank you. Monika doesn't reply. She wraps her arms around me and gently squeezes. After a moment of silence, we let go of each other and I feel someone standing behind me. Turning around, I see Sayori walking towards me with a relieved expression on her face. We lock eyes for a moment before she runs and hugs me. Her arms wrap around me, and for some reason I feel oddly warm from it. I return her hug by wrapping my left arm around her back and my right hand on the back of her head, securing her to me. Again, we have a moment of silence. Feeling Sayori in my arms is something that feels so surreal. Just hours ago, I nearly lost her forever, but here she is. Thank God. My breathing is labored and I'm covered in sweat, dirt, blood, and I'm mentally exhausted. Even formulating thoughts right now is taking a lot more energy than it should. Sayori pulls away from the hug and looks up into my eyes. Level Engine, are you okay? I'm alright now, but what about you? My leg is sprained and I have some bandages on my cut, so I'm okay. It could definitely be worse. You're right, it could. Monica walks over and gives Sayori a hug while Julia joins us and hands me my discharge papers. Are you all ready to leave? Yep. Of course, let's get the hell out of here already. Monica, we're going to take you home first. Then I'm going to drop off Level Engine and Sayori next. Sayori's going to be staying with me at my house. Huh? Normally I would be extremely against that, but honestly, you're probably on the right track about that, Level Engine. If any of the people who caused this shit to happen tonight are still active, then going to your house isn't a safe thing to do. It would be better if you stay with me tonight, so if anything happens, I'm at least able to do something about it quickly. I guess. Monica nods and starts to follow us out. Sayori stays by my side and slowly grasps my hand in hers. The car ride to Monica's house was quiet and serene. Mainly because both Monica and Sayori were sleeping the entire way. I even caught myself dozing off a few times throughout the ride. And boy, do I know that. Stress wears people out. Every so often I feel Sayori's grasp on my hand tighten slightly as she fades through the levels of consciousness. It's actually kind of heartwarming. This poor girl's been through so much tonight. She didn't deserve any of it. After we stop at Monica's place, Monica wakes up and gives everyone a quiet goodbye. We watch until a minute after she enters her house, just to make sure she is okay afterward. When we pull away from the driveway, Julia looks back and at Sayori grasping my hand tightly while sound asleep. She smiles and turns her head back down towards the road. I know I never really tell you this, Julia, but thank you for everything earlier. Don't mention it, kid. Kid. She hasn't called me that in years. Whenever she did, she was usually in an emotional mood or state. Or as Ashley would joke around with, she's on her period. But it's pretty evident that's not the case here. Eventually we pull up to Sayori's driveway and I gently wake Sayori up. Both she and Julia exit the car and enter her house to gather some clean clothes. After they return, Julia drops both of us off at my house. Sayori seems to be too tired to even walk, so I try my best to help her up the stairs and into my bed. After placing the blanket over her, I turn and start to walk out of the room. But Sayori calls out my name, stopping me in my tracks. Level Engine? Is it too much if you could sleep with me tonight? I kind of don't want to be alone. Sure. Just give me a second to turn off the lights downstairs. Okay. Sayori's waiting for me in the blanket. You're so warm, hee. Weirdo. I wrap my good arm around her and let her nuzzle into my chest. After almost a minute, I hear gentle coos coming from her. Wow. She must have been really tired to fall asleep that fast, or really comfortable. And to be honest, this is actually something I enjoy right here. Sayori is warm. She smells good despite all that happened earlier, and well, she's important to me. I've never really been able to experience much of something like this. I better take advantage of this opportunity and finally relax. After all that has happened, I know I need rest, and so does she. And I can finally do that. What's that noise? My eyes are closed, but my ears are very much open. I swear to God I heard a noise. Shuffling in the bed, I realize Sayori's not here. What? I didn't feel her leave. Shifting and sitting up in my bed, I look around the room. My bedroom door is open, but Sayori isn't anywhere to be seen. I silently get off my bed and move towards the door. Walking into the hallway and leaving my room, I look around listening for any noise or movement. The bathroom door opens and my head snaps to it. And Sayori walks out of it, giving me a sudden startle. Oh, Level Engine, you're awake! Yeah, I heard a noise. Oh, that was me. I was using the bathroom. I see. You okay? Just still recovering from everything. A sudden ache in my shoulder burns at me, so I attempt to rub and calm it. Yeah, I guess I'm a little on edge too. It's just all so scary. But then I remember I have you to protect me. You're lucky I care for you. I reach over with my good arm and gently pat Sayori's back. She giggles silently and then wraps her arms around me. Thank you again, my hero. Don't mention it. I pull her closer to me and she rests her head on my shoulder, still hugging me. We both sit down, silently embracing each other until she yawns loudly. Sayori and I scoot back against the wall while sitting on the bed to make ourselves more comfortable. She continues resting her head on my shoulder until she falls asleep silently. It's kind of cute, actually. Albeit slightly annoying since I am not a bed for people to rest on, but I'll make an exception for her. Plus, it's kind of nice. Lucky girl. I don't think I could fall asleep that easily after all that's happened. I may be battle-hardened, but that does not mean I'm immune to stress. And normally I wouldn't be as effective if Sayori wasn't involved, so the sudden shock of everything welling up on me gives me an odd feeling. My mind runs through several possible scenarios and hypotheticals of what could have happened tonight. Each one plays through with a lot of detail that either rises or lowers my overall anxiety. None of what my mind was envisioning ever happened, thank God. I might as well get some sleep. I'm too exhausted to keep up with this. Slowly getting under the blanket with Sayori, I lie my head down onto my pillow and close my eyes. So, what happens the day after? Does everything go back to normal? Well, does the main character get a happy ending? That's what it seems like. Hope he doesn't get called off for like another 6 months. Opening the door of the club, I walk into a familiar and warm atmosphere that I haven't visited for a while. Level Engine, welcome back! Monica walks over and greets me, smiling. Yo, Monica, how are you feeling? I'm great! I'm also really glad you decided to come in today. Yeah, it's been overdue for a couple of days now. I've been busy after school lately, so I never had time to come in. I understand. We're gonna be starting soon here. Find a seat and get comfortable. Yuri and Natsuki both appear. Look who's finally back! It took you long enough! Yeah, it's not like I was busy rescuing your friend and making sure the rest of you were safe or anything. Well, it's good to have you and her back. Not that that means I miss you two or something. Yes, it's good to have you and Sayori back, Level Engine. I believe all of us missed you dearly, especially after everything that's happened. I guess it would be a lie if I said I didn't miss being here either. And I know Sayori missed you all extremely. Thank you for doing all you did for Sayori. I know you got hurt doing it, but again, thank you. Yeah, I heard you got really hurt. Are you okay? Not that I care or anything, it's just, Natsuki stammers with her words for a second before I raise my hand up to stop her. I'm going to be okay. It's only been 3 days since that night, but I'm recovering quickly. That's good. Natsuki looks off to the side worried for a moment. Even through her attitude, I can tell she has a genuine concern about my health and well-being since the incident. I smirk and move my arms around to prove I still have mobility. I also heard you confronted some of the people who were bullying Sayori here at school the other day. That's correct. That's very noble of you. Natsuki looks intrigued and pops her head up for a second. I wonder if we're actually gonna just tell these girls the truth about this one guy who's been paying the girls to bully her, so he could just look like the good guy. Sayori's been very happy since she came back, and normally when you weren't around she'd be... Natsuki, how would you describe it? Well, she was always bright when you were around, but before you actually started coming to school here, her brightness was dim. They're both referring to Sayori's depression, which has been hitting her hard recently until the kidnapping. I expected the depression to worsen as a result of everything, twisting their mind to make them think they were the cause of what happened in general, thus making their depression worse. But I haven't seen Sayori like that at all lately. In fact, she's been especially bubbly and joyous. I don't know whether to be worried or happy. Better to just stay observant, just in case. Yeah, I guess lately she has been a lot happier. Which I would prefer to the alternative, don't you think? Listen, I will make this quick because I don't want you thinking I'm being too mushy or anything. But thank you for protecting my friend and getting her back to us safe and sound. You're a good friend and also a good boyfriend to her. I'm sorry for saying that you weren't. I place a hand on her shoulder and turn to her face, looking to her eyes. I understand that at the time you were upset. It's natural for someone to throw blame around when something like this happens, even when they don't want to or realize that they are. I accept your apology, Natsuki. Without saying another word, she closes her eyes and gives me a hug. Huh? What the hell are you doing? She squeezes me for a second, then releases me. Don't get any weird ideas. I just wanted to say you were a good friend, and I guess a hug was a good way of expressing that. I see. I pat her on the head gently and she recoils. Don't mess up my hair! It was already messed up before I pat you. I chuckle devilishly to myself and she gently hits me on my good arm. It's good to have you back, dummy. Sayori looks over and then walks up to me. Hi, Level Engine. Yo, Sayori, how are you doing? I'm doing fantastic today. I'm so glad you're back in the club. I never left. I just had to take care of stuff with Julia for the last few days. Did everything go okay? Yep. Now I have time to spend here at the club. And with you. Sayori's blushing face helps relieve the unease I've been feeling today. It's only been 3 days since I arrived at the forest to save her. She's returned to staying at her house and I'm still at mine. But lately I haven't been at the club since Julia and I have been having regular meetups to discuss additional information. So far, nothing really important has been uncovered, but it looks as if a majority of the people who are involved are now in custody. And as a result of that, I haven't seen Sayori much these last few days outside of class. So I guess seeing her and being able to spend time with her here is a good thing. So, are you happy to be back? Of course, why wouldn't I be? I don't know. To be honest, I am only glad to be back here at the Literature Club. Word does go around the school, so now people know I had a hand in bringing Sayori back. To what extent still is a mystery to me, which gives me notoriety I don't really desire. Some other guys in my English class kept asking me questions. I didn't even respond to them. It slightly pisses me off that some people want my business like it's their own, but I guess it's just as easy to ignore them or blindside them with something different. After a day or so, everything calmed down. Come on, let's start the club already, we can all have fun. The club went as normal. We all talked about different kinds of literature and poems and joked about Sayori misunderstanding a word. Yuri and Natsuki tried their best to get Sayori and I to talk about the cool things I did to save her. But thankfully Sayori understands it as best we both stay quiet about what happened. She just kept her normal bubbly face on and said something really corny like, he was my hero! In which the other girls would all awe and look directly at me. I'm not going to lie, it felt a little weird to be put into that position, and I hope to God it's the last time they look at me and do that. But after each of us read poems to each other, I take a slip of paper out of my pocket and place it onto the desk in front of me. Each of the girls look at me in bewilderment, as if I just pulled a bar of gold out of my pocket. You wrote a poem? Of course I did. Didn't expect you to bring one in. Surprise. Can we just read it? Nice. Where this road has brought me. The road ahead of me was paved with dirt and gravel. Meandering through the bumps and gaps were my daily tribulations. But something changed along the way and that dirt turned to grass. The rocks turned to flowers. I attempted to deny this false pretense my mind beheld. But for some reason I didn't question it. I kept going. The clouds overhead dissipated and the sun shone down on me once more. It feels as if it was forever since I last saw it. But the road ahead has a stop in it. As I approached it, I saw her. The true embodiment of everything I was missing as a person. The closer I got, the more scared I became. But the better I felt. She sat down in the patch of grass, smiling at the world. When she saw me and I saw her, it all changed. Instead of turning away and scoffing like my past, she took my hands into hers and made the road ahead a road worth traveling. She's by my side now, walking the same road. How things ended up this way, I will never know. But one thing I do know is where this road has brought me. Each of the girls looks stunned except for Sayori. She looks off to the side, trying to hide her face, which is as red as a cherry right now. Amazing! You did a very good job with the language, Level Engine. Whoa! Thank you, Level Engine. Oh, well, you're welcome. I'm glad you all liked it. I love it so much. It's a Level Engine poem about me! Okay, everyone. I think that's going to be a good place to leave it for today. Sayori looks back at me and I can already predict what she's going to say. Level Engine, can we? Yes, we can walk home together. Yay! So we walk home and then what? We both meet our old spot and split up. Hey, Level Engine. Do you want to hang out later? I don't see why not. I just gotta get something for Julia and then I'll head over. I just want to see what that is. Inside are several files and documents about the people who were detained and killed the night I brought Sayori back. I want to see if I'm gonna be forced to relocate again. The races too are also mixed, which is odd since a lot of crime syndicates are predominantly Caucasian, Hispanic, or African American. So this group will take anyone into the ranks, which doesn't really seem to strike me as an organized crime sort of deal. Occupations don't tell me anything useful at all, neither do finances. So our overall conclusion is that these people were hired to do the things they did. By who, we don't know. And police interrogations don't tell us anything useful either. Text message from Sayori. I'm gonna take a shower and clean up a bit before you come over. Sorry if I take a bit. Sayori sends me one of her usual emoticons and I just offer an acknowledgement and put my phone back in my pocket. So Julia arrives at my door. I accept it and follow Julia outside. So what happens? Still haven't heard anything from Sayori since she messaged me earlier. A small twinge of uncertainty starts to envelop me and makes me feel like I should go check on her. I mean, I'm done with Julia anyway. Putting the glass away in the cupboard, I exit the front door and start walking towards Sayori's house. Walking into her house, all of the lights downstairs are off. Uh-oh. I hope we don't get to see Swing Yori after all this. Something feels off. I decide to not call out for her and just go to her room. Quietly skulking up the stairs, I finally reach Sayori's bedroom. Hopefully it's not Swing Yori's bedroom. I press my index and middle fingers against the top of the doorknob. It's cold, so no one has touched it recently. Sayori said she was going to take a shower earlier, so I quietly turn and head to her bathroom. Inside, I notice there's some humidity still lurking in there and a damp towel with no Sayori, so she must be in her room. But that's odd. She isn't making any noise or movement at all. You better not fucking kill her now. I don't know if I want to actually... I don't know if I want to continue further. I gently open the door. What the hell? The sight before me nearly freezes me on my tracks. Kagan is holding Sayori against his chest with an arm wrapped around her waist and the other pointing a gun at her head. My blood instantly turns cold as he looks into my eyes. Finally! Jesus Christ. You take so long just to check up on your... Sayori, what is he to you now? Sayori sobs helplessly, trying to pry his arms away from her. Oh, come on, sweetheart, you can say it. Get your hands off her, Kagan. How did Kagan get a gun? Kagan's appearance is disheveled, like he was under a lot of stress and finally snapped. But his eyes look calm and cold, as if it was planned. He has a couple of scratches on his arms, no doubt from Sayori trying to get out of his chokehold. He holds what looks like to be a generic 9mm handgun, his finger already on the trigger ready to fire. No, I don't think I will. You don't control what happens anymore. I do. Kagan, if you hurt her, I swear to God I will make sure you suffer a fate worse than death. At this point, what are you going to do? I have the gun and I will do what I want with it. I don't offer a response and just slowly pace to the left side of the room. Kagan shifts him and Sayori so they are constantly facing me head on. I can't get an angle on either of them. I want you to stay back against that wall right there. He nods to the wall that has Sayori's calendar posted on it. I slowly comply and get close to the wall. Sayori makes eye contact with me, tears trailing down her panicked face. Immense anger taking over me, I try my best to remain calm and collected. The gun that Kagan holds doesn't look like it has a modified trigger system, so if I can figure out what type of handgun he has, I can determine the pressure I need to discharge around. I can't risk doing anything if it would mean Sayori gets hurt. Damn it, what do I do? I raise both my hands outwards around my waist to show Kagan I do not have anything in my hands. I was trained to do this to show I'm not as much of a threat to the aggressor as he is to me. Also makes them feel like they're in more control of the situation. Why are you here, Kagan? What does it look like? It looks like you're just setting yourself up for failure here. Failure? Haha, failure? I've already won, Level Engine. Won what exactly? Ever since you came here, you have ruined everything I had planned. Planned? So you mean... Everything was planned to circumvent you. If you had not shown up that night, I looked through Sayori's bedroom window, none of this would have happened. You got involved in something you really shouldn't have. You were the reason all this happened. Someone like you really shouldn't be around girls like Sayori. She's sweet, caring, and trusting. But you? You have the eyes of a killer. The demeanor of a man who only knows how to harm and not to heal. You were better off alone or in school, minding to yourself and remaining the weirdo we all initially thought you were. So you mean to say that because I stopped your perverted Pete session, you caused everything to happen? For lack of better terms, yes. So the kidnapping was planned by you? Kind of, yeah. People will do almost anything if you promise them what they want. So you purposely hurt the girl you desired. Sometimes you have to do what is necessary to justify your means. You're a smart guy, you understand this, I don't see how hurting an innocent girl when your problems are with me would justify any of the atrocities you committed. You paid people to bully Sayori so you could stand up against them and protect her. Guilty as charged, but that is nothing compared to what you have done, Level Engine. In the last 24 hours, how many people have you killed? Oh yeah, I know. I was the one organizing all of it, dumbass. Surprise! You son of a bitch. Oh, getting a little mean now, eh? How could you put Sayori through all of this? You caused too much trouble for me to just let this go. People at school talk about how much of a hero you are, about how you saved Sayori from hell and how you were her angel. God, that should have been me. Let me guess. You planned to save Sayori from the kidnappers just like you originally planned with the bullies? Now you're catching on. It's easy to win a girl's heart over if you save her stoically. And it was going swimmingly until you showed up and ruined it all. Sorry to rain on your parade there, Kagan. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your smart-ass mouth right now. Please, Kagan! Shut up, Sayori. I'm a little busy dealing with a cockroach that's been bothering me. He presses the barrel of the gun to Sayori's temple and my stress immediately skyrockets. So you decide that after I ruined all of your plans, you were just gonna pull a stunt like this? What exactly do you think something as genius as this will accomplish in the end? Get on your knees and beg me to keep Sayori alive. Oh please, Mr. Gunman, please don't hurt my girlfriend. Do you think I'm joking? At this point, I just want you dead. With you gone, my life will be so much easier. The same could be said about you. But I bow to no man, especially one with my girlfriend held hostage. This isn't a request. This is a demand. Damn it, I thought that would loosen his confidence a bit. I need to decide what to do, fast. I could comply with his demands, but I have my handgun, which is holstered in the small of my back around my waist, and just go for it. So either, if we do the wrong thing, Sayori dies, and if we do the right thing, she lives. So we were gonna get this one choice that determines whether or not we get a good or bad ending, kind of like whether or not we want to just stay with Yuri or abandon her and everything else we worked for to just comply with the orders of, like, the company, like, MC works for. Comply with Kagan. You have no reason to bring her into this. Let her go. You and I can handle this man-to-man. Tempting, but no. Now do as I told you. Beg for Sayori's life. She shakes her head and looks away. Kagan, please let Sayori go. She is innocent in all of this and doesn't deserve to be put through this. How could you even bring yourself to harm her is something I can't even fathom. But again, your problem was with me. Your focus is on me, Kagan. Please, leave her out of this. Is that the best you can do? That's all you can say that you think will save your girlfriend? I'm not used to pleading for others' lives, as you can tell, so excuse me if I'm not a petty little prick like you. You have a lot of nerve saying that. And you have a lot of nerve being within a mile of my girlfriend after you attempted to peek at her like the pervert you are. And as I said then, you were lucky they didn't just slaughter you right then and there. Looking back, I really should have. It's quite alright, everyone makes mistakes. Your mother just happened to not correct one that she made. Joke's on you, asshole. Never knew my mom. So I never had to beg someone for attention like you have. Your mother. You mother. Kagan lifts his arm to hold Sayori's waist and jerks it up so that now he has Sayori by her neck. He tightens his grip and gently chokes Sayori. I try to stand up, but he presses the barrel against her head again. Sayori's tear-filled eyes close and squint. My blood begins to boil as I watch helplessly. Sayori's still able to breathe, but not much. He's putting her through copious amounts of stress just to get me to break. Kagan, let her go and fight me like a man. There's no honor in this. Honor? Do you think I give a shit about honor? I copped a look at Sayori naked, and you're over here talking about honor? I thought that maybe since you want to kill me, you actually put yourself to a challenge. You want me dead, right? You could shoot me right here and right now, and that might feel good. But how good would it feel if you gave me a chance to fight back and still kill me? Not a bad suggestion. Not bad at all. I make eye contact with Sayori and nod my head at her, desperately trying something to help calm her down. She doesn't move her head much and just hangs it lowly. Nah, I think I'll be fine with how things are right now. You being dead will satisfy me no matter if you fight back or not. Well, time to die. Kagan points the gun at my head and smiles. Is this how I die? I thought I could do better than spout some sarcastic bullshit at him. Especially if he has my girlfriend hostage. Ashley would be disappointed in me. After taking one final look in Sayori's eyes, I close my own and bow my head. I'm sorry I failed you, Sayori. You deserve so much better than this. Ah! What the hell? All of a sudden, I hear Kagan scream out in pain. Opening my eyes, I see Sayori biting down on the arm that Kagan uses to hold her. She managed to get a good grip, too. Kagan is violently shaking his arm to get her off. This is my chance. With my right knee planted on the ground, I shift myself onto my left foot and use the spring forward. Kagan's eyes widen as he sees the Grim Reaper charging towards him. I wrap my hand around Kagan's right wrist, which is holding the gun. Using my other hand, I reach between him and Sayori and pull Sayori away. Next, I grab onto the top of his head, grip some hair, and push him back into the window. Get off of me! We both stand there for a moment, my left hand still focusing on the gun in his hand. My right still pressing his head against the window. He starts to swing back, hitting me in the face a few times, but failing to loosen my iron grip on him. I'm not letting you get away, Kagan. I told you if you bring her into this, you'll suffer. I'm not a dog, I am a lion, and you've entered my pen. He swings once more and makes contact with my right temple, temporarily stunning me, but my grip on his doesn't loosen. You and your bitch of a girlfriend are gonna pay for this. You can call me a bitch, but you will not call her one. I pull his head toward me and with the hand that was gripping his hair and slam it back onto the window. The window breaks under the pressure and the glass shatters everywhere. Gah! Level engine! Sayori screams my name as Kagan manages to point the gun at me. I pivot my hip and shove my knee into where his ribcage meets his right side. Out of reflex, he starts coughing and drops the gun. My gun! He lifts his head back up from outside the window and practically growls at me. But I take the hand that is holding his head and slam it back down against the shattered glass rim of the window. Kagan screams in agony. I can feel the razor-sharp glass shards tear in the back of his skull. The scraping of the glass against his scalp sends a very chilling and disturbing sound to my ears. But I've heard worse. Much worse. This is nothing to me. Kagan continues to fight back, causing me to slam his head repeatedly onto the rim of the window. Level engine, watch out! Out of the corner of my eye, I see a bloody hand with a sharp shard of glass swing toward my throat. I duck my head just in time as the sharp piece of glass makes contact with my arm. God damn it, Kagan! Fuck yourself. He presses the glass deeper into my arm and twists it around, sending intense searing pain through my arm. I repeatedly start to slam his head against the jagged glass of the window again and again, until his hand lets go of the glass on my arm. His breathing slows and his body goes limp. I release my grip on him and stand up, leaving him slumped at the window. You are a monster. I'm only protecting someone I care about. Anyone else would have done the same, Kagan. There is no response. His breathing has stopped, and his lifeless body slides down the wall and onto the floor. Breathing heavily, I look over to Sayori as she runs to my side. Level engine, are you alright? I'm fine. Just a small flesh wound. What about you? How's your neck? It's okay. Just a little sore. I want you to call 911 and get the paramedics here. Okay, I think the scene's pretty much over at this point, so I presume Kagan's dead, thank fucking God. Shouldn't we remove the sharp glass in her arm first? No, that isn't a good idea. If we remove it, it'll tear through more muscle on the way out and cause me to bleed even more. Gross! I'm sorry! It's fine. Sayori retrieves her phone and begins to call for help. So going back to the hospital again. What choice did I pick? When you have to protect someone you love, you'll stop at nothing to assure their safety. So I'm assuming here I picked the right choice, right? Yeah, if I actually have, like, a slower reflex time trying to shoot Kagan in the head than Kagan has shooting Sayori in the head, then obviously that would be, like, a terrible choice. So I feel like complying with Kagan and not just trying to shoot him straight away was probably the right choice. So let's see if this was, like, the bad move. I'm gonna grab my weapon. Kagan, do you really think this is smart? I mean, you were on the right track when you asked me earlier. How many of your men were in the forest? How many thought the same thing as you when they faced me? And how many of them died by my hands? All because they hurt Sayori. And guess what position you are in now, Kagan? The same as them. Do you think I'm scared of you? I'm the one with the gun. I'm the one that controls how long your girlfriend survives. If she dies, what do you think is going to stop me from slaughtering you? Maybe nothing. But then your precious Sayori would be gone for good. Kagan starts to go on a tangent which gives me time to think. I can determine his gun's a Glock 19. They are commonly used for police officers and have a standard trigger weight of 6 pounds. So it doesn't take that much pressure to discharge the firearm. And Kagan's finger is already resting on the trigger, but how much pressure he is putting on it is still a mystery. If I can manage to hit him in the T-box, and I can bring him down instantly without worrying about his body spasming enough to pull the trigger on Sayori. If you can land a bullet into this hypothetical box, it will destroy the center of the brain and the central nervous system, causing instant death without the fear of cadaveric spasms. But the problem is, if you miss, your aggressor can survive a gunshot to the head and have enough energy or time to return fire. And the actual area I'm going to be aiming for is extremely difficult. Not even British Special Air Service operators, who are some of the best marksmen in the world, would risk such a shot. But they aren't me. I need to plan this accordingly. If I can get him to draw his weapon at me, I can go for it without worrying for Sayori. But the realistic chance of that happening is slim to none. I need to antagonize him a bit more. Kagan, you can fuck with me. You can hate me. You can try to kill me. But if you involve her, I will show you no mercy. You will fucking face the true extent of what I am. I know what you are. You're nothing more than a dog. A dog that is going to be put down very soon. Well, let me tell you something. This dog has been wearing a wire. What? And everything you have been saying has been recorded and listened to by the police. Any minute now, they will be coming to this location and you will not escape. Even if I die, you will not escape this. You son of a bitch! I look out the window behind him and then I stare directly into his eyes. There's fear in them. I have him now. Looks like they've already arrived. Kagan shifts and looks out behind the window, slightly pulling the barrel of his Glock away from Sayori's head. I reach to the small of my back and retrieve my own handgun and raise it. As he turns his head back to me, I try to fire my destination. The bullet strikes through the side of his head as he recoils, causing it to tear through his ear. Out of reflex, he points his gun at me. One of the rounds that Kagan fires misses my neck and barely strikes the wall behind me. But the other flies right through my left shoulder. The force of the bullet ripping through my flesh throws me off balance. I keep my focus on Kagan's head and fire again. He ducks at just the right moment so my round barely misses. I run up to both Kagan and Sayori and slam the butt of my handgun against Kagan's hand, causing him to scream and release Sayori. I take my free hand and, ignoring the pain from his shoulder, I throw Sayori to the ground away from Kagan. Wrapping my left hand around Kagan's right, I try to keep his gun from tagging any part of my body. He grabs my right hand with his left, trying to do the same thing as I. We struggle for a moment as Sayori screams on the ground. 2 rounds pass through my stomach, sending me into an immediate shock of nausea. Shit. I'm hit again. I need to get his gun away from him. And there's only one way I can do that. I pull my left arm in, giving Kagan control of his gun again. I extend my right arm out as far as I can, and then bring my head down to his collarbone. Don't fuck with the dog if you don't want to get bit. Bringing down my teeth against his collarbone, I bite as hard as I can. All hesitation that I once had now fades away as the adrenaline takes over from the severe wounds inflicted upon me. His skin tears and my teeth sink deeper until I make physical contact with his bone, but I continue to apply pressure. Ah, what the hell? He grunts, but out of the corner of my eye I still see the Glock in his hand. I can feel the hypothetical laser of it against my temple and slam my left hand down onto it. Another round flies through my left thigh. If I was a little slower, he would have shot me in the head and it would have been over. I start to feel the flow of blood trickle up my throat. This isn't good. No matter what happens here, Kagan, I'm going to take you with me to hell. Using as much energy as I can, I bite down hard enough until I feel a crack. Angling my incisors, I pull my head up and bring out a chunk of flesh and a large fractured segment of Kagan's collarbone. Gah, you... What the hell are you? He drops his gun at the sight and starts to panic. Letting the gibbed chunk of flesh fall out of my mouth onto the floor, I look him directly in the eyes. Your eyes? There's no way. I slam more forehead against his, which causes both of us to stumble to the ground. I manage to get him on top of him before slamming the butt of my handgun against his temple. He swings back, striking me in the arms a few times and then in the face. But I don't feel the blows. I throw my handgun across the room and wrap my hands around Kagan's throat and squeeze. Gah! Ah! Get off of me! You freak! The squeaks he makes as his last breath exits his lungs only agitate me further. You hurt Sayori. You ruined the only peace that I wanted. And you threaten me like you own me. You don't own me, Kagan. It's funny how you said I was a dog earlier. But you're the one pleading with me as you die like a dog. It's a dog-eat world, Kagan. And only the strongest survive. The blood that is pouring out of my stomach, mouth, thigh, and arm are starting to make me feel dizzy. A tear rolls out from his eyes, he stops moving completely. His arms fall limp and drop to the ground. Releasing the grip on Kagan's corpse, I let myself calm down. Sayori sits up and continues to cry into her hands. I raise myself off of his body and feel extreme dizziness overcome me. I can't stand up. I don't have the strength to. Rolling myself off of Kagan's body and towards the middle of the room, I turn my head towards Sayori. Level engine? The adrenaline starts to wear off and my wounds begin to sting. And oh dear god do they sting. Sayori dials 911 on her phone and holds it to her ear. After a few minutes, Sayori ends the call and gently rubs her hair with her hand. Level engine will be okay. The paramedics are coming to help. Sayori. Yeah? You're a strong girl. Huh? I want you to stay a strong girl. It's getting hard to breathe. The blood in my throat and mouth does make it hard to breathe and swallow, but it's not enough to asphyxiate me. But internal bleeding and severe organ damage are evident. I'll be a strong girl, but I need you with me. You can't leave me. I'll be okay. It doesn't hurt anymore. It doesn't? No, so don't worry. There's something I want to tell you. Thank you for putting up with me all this time. I know I haven't been the most normal person around you, but that is because you really made me happy and I knew I could rely on you. And when you joined the literature club, I had a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I love you, Level Engine. Sayori, I'm the one who should be thanking you. You've helped me realize that I don't need to be alone. You introduced me to your friends, and they became mine. I finally had a reason to stay involved. Sayori, I love you too. The pain finally begins to numb completely. I look into Sayori's eyes one last time. Strange, I can't feel anything else but a tear that rolls down my cheek. Level engine? Sounds like it just died on the spot there. No! Ma'am? I know. I just need a minute to process. I understand. Are you sure that... Yes, ma'am. He was pronounced dead at the scene. God damn it. I rest my face in my hands and fight the stinging in my eyes. Miyuki, my assistant, walks over to my side and places her hand on my shoulder. The sudden news of Level Engine's death hits me harder than anything I've ever experienced. Miyuki, you may take the rest of the day off. I need to go somewhere. Where does Julia go? Walking through the extremely painful hallway, I reached the window where I watched Level Engine's final examination take place. Ashley and I stood right here until it was completely over. And looking back on it now, I am the only one left. Maintaining my emotional resolve, I drive to another familiar place. Oh, here. That part of the lake. Each step on the wooden deck makes it harder and harder to keep composure. When I reach that part of the railing, I lose it. I can't hold back my emotions anymore. I can't hold back my tears anymore. I can't hold back my regret anymore. The pain and loss of losing one of the only people I had left weighs too much on me. First Ashley, and now Level Engine. The two people who made my life bearable and the reasons I would put up with everything every day. Especially him. We'd push each other around, always have some sort of laugh afterward. He became a boy that I genuinely enjoyed being around, and I don't like to be around that many people. I helped develop him into the man he became, but what he became got him killed. I couldn't protect him like I promised, Ashley. Slamming my fist against the railing over and over again, my emotions forced themselves out. All the worry I hid away from Level Engine made it seem like I didn't care about him. I always felt like I was annoying him whenever I did show him worry. So I did my best to restrict that, so I didn't do anything I regretted. But it turns out that was my biggest regret of all. I love you, Level Engine. You were always like my nephew, and I want to give you anything you wanted, including the normal life you desired. I'm sorry it ended this way. I'm so sorry. Oh, we also have to see how the girls handle the news of the guy's death, too. You really want to sucker punch me again because I made the wrong choice? I guess so. Hey, Monica. Hi. No Sayori again, huh? No. She hasn't been to school since it happened. Yeah, I talked to her yesterday morning and she didn't sound too good. I offered to come over and keep her company, but she refused. I can't even imagine how she possibly feels about this. We all lost someone special to us, but to her it was probably more important than anything else. And he died saving her. I'm gonna miss how he would always find ways to surprise us, even if it was about the simplest things. He was there for all of us. It's gonna take some time to get used to just us four. You mean 3. Sayori... Let me guess. Sayori killed herself. After the appropriate time to grieve, I think it's important we all let Sayori know we're there for her. She's our friend after all. I agree. Losing someone you care for very deeply is not an easy thing to overcome. Especially if they're the only person that protects you. Nevertheless, I think we should take the time to write some poem pieces about this. I think this will be a good way for all of us to help get our emotions out in a healthy manner. That's a good idea, but do we have to show them to each other? Yeah. I don't want anyone else to know how I... She trails off her sentence. After a moment, she regains her composure and stiffens her face. Huh? Sayori? Monica! Sayori rushes to Monica and wraps her arms around her. Sweetheart, it's okay. It's okay. Sayori's cries of despair and sadness bring tears to each of the other girls. Monica wraps her arms around Sayori and gently rubs her back. He's... I loved him! I know you did, Sayori. I know you did. The world. It was so much brighter with him around. We talked about going to places together. We talked about watching the rain together. Or spending our lives together, and now... Sayori slides toward the floor, dropping Monica to her knees with her. In Sayori's hand, Monica knows they're clutching a piece of paper. The top of the paper reads, "Where this road has brought me." And after seeing that, Monica can't bear to hold back tears anymore either. Both girls sit on the floor crying together. Yuri and Natsuki both walk over and hug both Sayori and Monica. Sayori looks out of the clubroom window into the rain. All she can see are more rain clouds. So I had a feeling that was going to be the bad choice anyways. So here's the better ending. You will go to lengths you thought you wouldn't ever be able to go. And all you will want is to just see their smile again. An important woman told me that once, and I never understood it until now. So was that kid all along? Correct, he was behind all of it. He planned it all from the start since I stopped him from peeping on Sayori. I remembered earlier I said, is Kagan going to be like a major character in the plot? And then like, not too long after I started to think, okay, maybe that's going to be a bit too obvious that Kagan is like one of the bad guys here. No, he was actually behind the entire thing. Well, if we confirm that he was behind the entire kidnapping incident, then I can fabricate a story regarding his death and we can move on. It should be reported by the media tomorrow morning. Thank you, Julia. Don't mention it. You did very well this last week. That a fact? So yeah, I'm assuming he's still dead. One thing about you that we agreed on was that we could both rely on you when we needed you. I know I gave you a hard time, but you are someone I can come to rely on. Shit, don't start getting sappy with me. It's kind of disturbing coming from you. We can go back to talking about what I found in your drawer when I was younger. No! Alright then. I'm gonna be going now. You get inside and get some rest. And for the love of God, can I please go a few days without hearing that you've gotten into more trouble? Oh, about that. Sayori is pregnant. Are you serious? No! Oh my god, the look on your face. I officially hate you. Good night, Jules. Night. I was actually beginning to really worry for a second that Sayori was pregnant. Like, she could have been raped in that 3-day time frame she was stuck in the forest with those guys. I mean, some guys did talk about wanting to get quote-unquote friendly with her. It could have happened. Could have been raped. It's over. It's all over. Thank God. I turned to my head to look at a sleeping Sayori that is cuddled up in my blanket. She looks so relaxed and comfortable. Despite everything that happened, that joy she emanates never fades. That is what I love about her. I guess I should probably follow her lead. I'm pretty exhausted as well. Heaving a quight sigh as I get up, I walk over to my door and turn off the light. I lie down next to Sayori under the blanket and rest my head against my pillow. Almost as if it was instinct, Sayori rolls over and wraps her arm around me. Smiling, I lean down gently and kiss her forehead. Okay, so I don't guess we get the credits yet. Maybe after this next day of events? Hurry, it's getting cloudy already. Give me a damn second, woman. We just got back from your therapy. Due to Sayori's depression, I convinced her to see a professional therapist so we can start the steps of curing it. At first she was worried about the cost, but thanks to everything I've saved up so far from work, payment is not a problem. Sayori trots out onto the balcony. Hee, look at the sky, it's so pretty out today. If you say so. It should rain soon, too. Yep. We should get a good drizzle today. I take a seat onto my chair and look out of my balcony. The clouds are indeed rolling in as predicted by media. The blue sky barely begins to form a gray R that grayscales the land. Sayori walks over to me, smiles, and sits down to my lap. I wrap my arm around her and hold her close. What's that book she's holding? Is that, like... That book has an eye on the front cover. Is that the Portrait of Markov? Is that the book we'd read with Yuri in the original game? Thank you for everything, my hero. I should be thanking you. You saved my life that night by attacking Kagan. Well, if I didn't do anything, you were going to die, and so was I. I did what came naturally to me, and I fought my best to protect you. It's because, I love you. You're still having a hard time saying it, aren't you? Don't say it that way. It's just something I haven't ever said to anyone but my parents before. Well, you probably have an easier time saying it than I do. But I love you too, Sayori. So we start to read what looks like the Portrait of Markov, if it's even that. Then it starts to rain, and then we get an inspirational quote, and then some credits? Oh, damn it, I didn't read that. I think I can just rewind the stream to read that. Maybe after, once the credits are done rolling. So we get to see the credits again. And I'm assuming Natsuki and Monica are going to have their own good and bad endings, and it's going to be like literally one choice right near the end of that route that you make that determines which ending you get. I'm assuming Afro Zero and Spaghetto have probably also played through this mod. Probably did maybe like better voice acting for the characters than I did. Runner-up, Mod of the Year 2018. Best Unique and Innovative Mod 2018. Best All-Rounded Mod of 2018. Inspired by the Fruit of Grisaya. Hence, Even the logo looks very similar to Fruits of Grisaya's logo. And there's still 2 more routes to play, so I'm not done with it yet. Yeah, after, like, a really captivating, one hell of a ride, Sayori and Yuri routes, why would I just stop now? And who's this girl in the middle? Are we ever gonna get to see her? Okay, so let me just rewind that stream quickly, see what that text was that I forgot to read before the credits showed up. Okay, it wasn't just text, it was some sort of quote. What did it say? In life, you will always win some and lose some. Take the experience from that and use it to better your future.